Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me send you the stream link real quick. Stream will be starting soon, guys. We're just getting stuff set up.
Alrighty.
I went ahead and started it just because I already said it was at 9. It's already like 9:15, so.
I didn't know if you wanted me to be silent for whatever you're going to show them, so.
No, it don't matter that much. I am gonna dim this. I wish I could lock window capture, man. It's kind of pissing me off. Like, I just want to lock it on the standby screen, but I'm so inept with streams that I just don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
I was trying to do that with like my previous stream, but that's something I'm just gonna have to.
I'll have to look it up
figure
after this.
out.
Yeah, I just want them to see the please stand by because it looks aesthetically pleasing, but it's fine. And that way I'm not also exposing my fucking, all the behind the scenes stuff I'm doing.
Yeah.
I even locked it, like, on my window capture. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna. Okay. That worked? Oh, that worked. Bet. Okay. Are you on my stream right now?
I'm watching your stream like on my
Okay,
my
do you
phone.
still see the please stand by stuff?
Yeah, I still see it.
Bet. I have done it. I've done it. What's going on, guys? Noodles, how are you so good at debating? I've just debated a while. Are you going to keep this up? Yep, I am going to keep it up.
I'm
debating. I've just debated a while. Alright, let me send you this stream.
You want to just like briefly like just say why the stream had to like be postponed a little bit?
Oh, I just had a family emergency that I had to deal with, basically. That's all it was. Couldn't be postponed or anything, so.
Oh, right, it's just like it had to be delayed.
Yeah, it was definitely a had to be. It wasn't like I could just get around it. If there was another way for me to get around it, I would have, but, sometimes it just be like that.
Unfortunately.
Let me go ahead. What am I doing right now? I feel like I'm completely inept because I just got home. I just have no idea what's going on. Alright, Surfbone. Go ahead. I'm sending this.
That is weird.
What the fuck? Why is it? Okay. Well, it has the wrong thumbnail for some reason. Do you see that?
Yeah. Say if I were to go to let me see. I'm going to try going to your own channel. Like, your own channel shows the correct thumbnail. It's just when I did the add everybody that it just is a wrong one. So, that is weird. So, at least it, like, on your channel, it's the right one, but, on Discord, for some reason, it's the...
Yeah, it's so weird.
Like, I even shared it on, like, the community tab, and it shows it shows, like, the Noodles and Surfbone one, not the Swag Kage one, so I don't know why that one's up.
I'm gonna put it on my Twitter, too, real quick. Twitter.
Naya versus Swag anytime soon. I'm pretty sure he said on the Naya stream that Naya said himself that he has no interest in that. It's not like Swag has any intention on being convinced, nor is he trying to truth seek.
I think he's just looking for
that's
content,
pretty
basically.
evident. And that was like pretty evident during his own debate with Swag as well. So So now I just said it just seemed like a huge waste of time, both on his and for Swag.
Yeah. I think we should just start the video over because we're only a few minutes in. So
Yeah.
probably should just start it over for everyone.
But you still want to do this, you said you want to do like a preview of something?
Oh, what?
You said I'm going to do a stream preview.
No, I just mean like the please stand by image is the preview.
Oh, just this? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's
I
all
thought
want.
that was in reference to something else.
Nah. Alright. Noodles, who do you think is the best debater? I don't think there's really a way to figure out who the best debater is, right? Like, people are good at certain things. If I were to say who's probably, like, the best, like, power scaler I know, it's probably, like, Parrot. Yeah. He's just really good. Naya's really good, too. Both of those guys are just super solid. They just practice a lot, so...
Let's just say that we've learned a lot from the both of them, so...
Yeah. They're beasts. My debating style is very reminiscent of Parrot's, too. So, if you've ever watched how Parrot debates and you watch how I debate, they're very similar. And it's because I based it on him. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and stream this for you. Get on the stream, Surfbone.
Yep. It's showing up.
Alright, tell me if you can hear it.
It's...
Do you hear it? Not from my... Not from the phone, Goober, from your screen share.
No, I can hear it.
Okay.
Well, because I'm only watching the live chat, like what's said on the live chat from my phone,
Yeah.
so...
Alright, boys. Let me go ahead and get my phone out. I probably need to get my charger, too. We'll go ahead and do it while I got time. Alright, Surfbone. Here's your chance. Once again, you may begin the distraction.
Oh, the distraction?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Begin the distraction. Wow. I hate how they put the incognito where your channel used to be button. It messes with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I just always naturally press your channel, but it's like... the button now. They changed it.
Really?
Make a how good would Kakuzu do in the 5 Kage Summit? That's a good idea, yeah.
That would
maybe
be...
man, what does happen there?
That actually...
Right. No, Noki
I
just
actually...
takes prizes. That's what happens.
At first, I'm gonna be like...
I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute, Noki exists. So, no, that's not a good fight. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, Anoki looks at Kakuzu and then he vaporizes the fuck out of him, and that's just what happens. Like that.
Yeah. I was just gonna be, because like
I was thinking about like what happens when like the Raikage and Kakuzu fight each other. I'm like, oh my god,
Dude,
that might be a dope fight.
That would be the fucking
That'd
fight
be
of
cool.
the century.
That'd be such a cool fight if that ever happened. I would love to see the Raikage and fucking Kakuzu go at it.
The two fucking brutes.
Yeah, they're just
that, like
monster chads that like to fight. Like pretty dope. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start the good old fashioned dono train with a good old donation to myself. So if you guys want to hop on this train, go for it. There it goes. It's taking forever, but it's going. Bam! Oh, there we go. Raikage probably slaps. You'd be surprised. I don't actually think the Raikage has good enough AP to harm Kakuzu. So, Dodo Train! Alright. Parrot barely does anime, LMAO. It's unironically probably Seth. No, Parrot does tons of anime. He just doesn't talk about it on his channel. Like, he's done, like, Naruto. He's done One Punch Man. He's done all kinds of stuff. So, that's just not true.
Like, some of his, like, actual first content was anime shit. But the main reason he took it down was, like, the copyright shit.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, he does
people
Bleach
just
too. I forgot. Yeah, I
yeah.
literally just did a video with him surrounding Bleach. He does Bleach too. He does more anime stuff than I do. So if Karen's not an anime guy, I don't know who is. All right,
No.
like Raikage scales to B, who's a BG. Raikage does not scale to B. I have no idea where he got that. But B is both faster and stronger than the Raikage. Oh, alright. I shall be right back. I gotta go grab my charger.
Alrighty, I guess I'm I got the chat to myself now. I think I saw somebody asking about Saitama versus like the Naruto verse. Saitama is at like his AP would get him pretty far, but I feel like his speed when
Right.
especially when you get to the I was just gonna say because somebody was asking about Saitama versus like the Naruto verse. Like he probably gets all the way up at least into the war arc, I think.
Yeah, he probably solos until War Arc, but then he dies.
Yeah. So Saitama actually gets pretty far. It's just like the war arc, like that's when characters start getting faster than him. He gets fucked by a bunch of hacks by a bunch of characters. So.
Yeah, for the ones wondering about that B thing I just said, B and the Raikage lariat each other. Base B lariats, version 1 Lightning Cloak Raikage during the War Arc, and the Raikage thinks he's stronger than him at this point. He thinks his lariat would just overpower him. He's like, you can't match me. And then B just shits on him. So no, B is definitely stronger than the Raikage. He just absolutely obliterated him. It wasn't even like close in power. And then also, in speed, B is consistently able to keep up with KCM Naruto. There's tons of feats of him like fighting and combo attacking and running alongside KCM Naruto. There's even some stuff to suggest he's faster than KCM Naruto. And I don't know if you guys saw what happened when the Raikage tried to catch KCM Naruto, but he got mega blitzed. So, yeah, B is definitely faster and stronger than the Raikage, and I'm probably going to talk about all that in a B video at some point. So,
speaking of Naruto blitzing the Raikage, that just reminds me of one of the things that Seth says in this video, at least because I've only watched 9 minutes of this video, and there's something that he starts to believe now, at least, that I'm actually surprised that he believes. You'll see why.
A is arguably stronger than everyone in the cloud pre-war. Why do people act like we know what the Raikage and B were pre-war? We have no idea what they were, so I don't know why these guys are like, I meant pre-war. Like, it doesn't matter if you meant pre-war. Pre-war Raikage has no feats. Like what, Kage Summit, I guess? But like they both pre-war Raikage and B just beat up Sasuke, and that's all we saw. Like neither of them even like the Raikage does go full power against Sasuke, but they were both just clearly above Sasuke, so we don't actually know who was stronger there or who was faster there. B doesn't even go all out. He was holding back against Sasuke. It's directly stated. So if anything, even pre-war, B is still stronger and faster than the Raikage. Seth thinks the 4th Raikage is above B. He used to not think that. I don't know if he does in this video, but nah. They keep arguing the narrative bullshit. I don't know if people know this, but power scaling is narrative. Like figuring out feats and like statements and stuff is accounting for the narrative. So this whole like thing where people think narrative arguments are separate from like just normal power scaling isn't true either, because what we're doing when we're looking at feats and stuff, we're looking at what the author wrote, right? We're doing a narrative analysis on the feats performed. That's literally what's happening. So it's not like this is something outside of that. But anyway, I think we can go ahead and get into this video. Darui is really sick. He's awesome. So
yeah, someone was saying like, please answer Darui versus Kakuzu.
Darui versus Kakuzu? Alright, there's a scene in the anime. I'm not allowed to... I didn't bring it up. There's a scene in the anime, it's not in the manga, where Darui swings at Kakuzu, and Kakuzu, as an Edo Tensei, looks at it and then kicks off of his sword and just dodges. Like, completely just, like, sidesteps the fuck out of him. So, anime Kakuzu wallops Darui. Manga Kakuzu... let's think.
There might be some debate there.
I think Kakuzu still wins, but there's more arguments to be had, because it just depends on like how strong you think the base Kenkaku and Genkaku were that he fought, because he was relative to them, but they're kind of unknown because they're Edo Tensei, so it's not like the way the Raikage thinks about them. He thinks that like no one on the battlefield can stop Kenkaku and Genkaku. Like he just thinks that they're like the most terrifying presence on the entire battlefield, which implies that they're stronger than like Tsunade, even himself. Really, he doesn't think Darui can beat them. He doesn't think anyone can like beat them. He doesn't think Kakashi can. So he feels like he needs to go down there and handle it himself. And then Darui actually fights them successfully. So Darui's actually stronger than the Raikage thinks too. But it's just so consistent about that the Raikage just doesn't know how strong people are. But so that does imply that they're stronger than like Tsunade, I guess. But even then, the Raikage might be just thinking about alive Kenkaku and Genkaku, right, instead of the Edo Tensei, because we know they're weaker when they're Edo Tensei. So he just might not be accounting for the Edo Tensei nerf. And if that's the case, then they're not actually as strong as we think they are. So you can't scale them above like Tsunade and people like that. So I would say that like probably Kakuzu would still win, just because he does have like definitive speed scaling, AP scaling. Because if the way the Raikage is judging it, then you can maybe argue they're similar in speed, and then you can also argue that Darui has like lightning based abilities that could potentially bypass Kakuzu's durability and stuff like that. But at the same time, Kakuzu can still counter his lightning-based abilities with, like, wind and things like that, right? So, it's an interesting fight, but probably Kakuzu. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Are you ready, Surfbone?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright.
Shinra Tensei.
Hello everyone, it's your host, Seth the Programmer. With me today, I have my two good friends, Swag Kage and Six, who is a new guy.
Okay, I should actually preface this. I know I said we were gonna watch it, but I don't hate Seth right now, so don't get that shit twisted. Like, obviously, I don't like the guy, but he still does make good power scaling videos for the most part, at least in comparison to the rest of YouTube and the internet, right? He still does make pretty good power scaling videos. This video isn't as good as his other ones, like,
Yeah.
Also, you know, obviously I've had beef with probably everyone in this video, Six Swag, and Seth, so... But regardless of that, I'm still going to remain unbiased. I'm going to actually judge their arguments just like I normally would. I don't have any, like, severe animosity to the point where I'm just looking for every type of argument just to try and destroy them. I'm going to argue the same way I've been arguing, which people already don't like anyway. But the way I scale pain is just naturally lower than other people scale pain. So it's going to be the same, like, perception that I've been having. It's just... don't take that into account. Don't think like I'm like intentionally downplaying these guys, because I don't. Because I do still think they have like good videos and things like that. Also, another thing, I love Pain. I said this yesterday. I love Pain. He's probably my favorite villain in the entire series. Unironically, it's like him, Madara, and Orochimaru, and that's it. Like, they're like my S tier villains. I love Pain. It's my favorite arc in the series of Naruto. So know that going into this, that this isn't just some personal bias against Pain. Like, I just hate Pain for some reason. Like, who watched Naruto and was just like, man, Pain sucked as a character? No one said that. No, everyone liked Pain. Everyone thought he was a cool villain. Everyone. Literally, I even liked the animation. I love the fight. I thought I remember getting goosebumps when Naruto goes Six Tails. So, just know, I do really like Pain. It's just from the perspective that I'm arguing and from, like, how I power scale. And how I view, like, certain feats. I just don't think he's as high as people think he is power scaling wise. Narrative wise and everything else, yeah, I think he's really cool. So, I have no problem with Pain whatsoever. So, let me just get that out of there.
One thing I want to... This is something I also prefaced with yesterday. Notice how the video is like, Noodles and Surfbone react to this video. It's like, we're not trying to debunk anything. It's just like, we're going to watch this video and we're going to give our best thoughts and like what we think about things and what we think of the arguments. It's like, we're not trying to debunk anything, right?
Yeah,
we're not
exactly.
trying to like be like, this like Seth's video is so dumb. It's like, you're like, if you guys like what we have to say, then you can take what we say into account when you're watching this video for yourself, or it's like when you're trying to power scale this series for yourself. It's just like,
Yeah, exactly.
and I also want to say for the record, when I watched the Pain arc and saw like the fucking Shinra Tensei that we just saw like a couple minutes ago, like I was like, holy shit, and I'm just like, dude, I was so fucking dumbfounded.
It got me hyped up too. Like, it was a crazy event. No one expected that. So
yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, we should probably.
So I don't understand. So it's not that I don't understand. Like, I completely understand why people are just so in defense of Pain and why he should be powerful. But I think that's also the big problem with the big versus community as well, is that some people have problem with dropping their biases when they're trying to power scale. So
yeah, you just have to remove that from your brain when trying to power scale. Saucy with the $5 dono. Me or Seth, which you hate less? Seth's never given me $5, so I hate you less. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. We kept him waiting long enough.
Guy on the channel. He knows a lot about Naruto. He's pretty edgy with it, so we decided to get him on. He's also pretty cool, so check out his channel down below. But today,
hey guys, it's me, Six.
But we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing.
What the is we doing?
What would happen if we dropped Pain in the Kage summit instead of Sasuke? And we're gonna be going over, could the Pains win? Would they do well? Like, how many would they take down? How would they take down certain people? How would it go? I think it's an interesting video. So
that was a cool transition.
If you guys have anything you want to start with, you can do that. But otherwise, I can just kind of get into like the narrative of why I think it's good. Or
is there like a bonus round where, like, since this is the same situation that Sasuke was in, or like Obito steps in? Because spoiler alert, I don't really think it changes anything, but
I don't know if I feel like Obito.
Danzo is kind of irrelevant, to be honest. I think Pain beats him.
So here, I'll start off with the narrative. How about that? So the narrative argument obviously is that after fighting Killer Bee and Sage Naruto loses to Pain, Obito thinks that Sasuke is so inferior to Naruto that he doesn't even want to roll up to the Leaf Village with him. Obito, Sasuke, and Zetsu shouldn't roll up to the Leaf Village. It might be a waste of time. And he thinks that Naruto, who just lost to Pain alongside the entire Leaf Village, Gamabunta, and all the Sage Frogs, and needed the Nine Tails and Minato to save him, would mop Sasuke. Like, just some, like, basically almost a random, combatant in that battle. So you have, then Sasuke goes to the Kage summit, even though he's supposed to be way weaker than Pain. Way weaker than Pain.
All right. So I'm definitely in disagreement with this already. There are implications that Naruto is stronger than him. Obito does say that he doesn't really want to go up to the Leaf Village right now. I don't know if it was because of Naruto or not. I can't remember the exact scenario he's talking about. But either way, there's definitely some things to suggest both Sasuke and Naruto are relative at this point. The only statement that I really remember that is like from Zetsu, where he says like Sasuke is strong. He thinks Naruto might be stronger than Sasuke, is what he says. But then there's some things like Naruto believes. Well, I think you mentioned it yesterday, Surfbone. What was it?
It was basically like after like Noodles. Not Noodles. Fucking Naruto rolls up to Sasuke after he and this is like Sasuke post Danzo fight, half blind, and then afterwards Naruto's like, I don't even think I could have beaten Sasuke.
Yeah, so Naruto doesn't even think he can beat Sasuke. Now, it might be from that whole narrative perspective, like Naruto feels like he's mentally holding back. Whatever. I don't think Sasuke is significantly weaker. Like, this is actually a pretty heated topic, is Kage Summit Sasuke versus Sage Naruto. I actually think the speed scaling for Sasuke is much better than the speed scaling for Sage Naruto at this point in the series. Or at least it's easier to argue. So it just depends on how you view the speed scaling for me, but I don't think one's way weaker or way stronger than the other.
Pain. And even though he pretty much almost solo kills the Raikage after
right now,
struggling with Mei and Gaara and having to fight all these people, Obito says, I thought you would have done better. He said that. He literally said, I thought you were going to do better. I thought you were going to weaken them so I could take a hostage or two at least. So if Pain is way stronger than that, you can guarantee some bodies are going to hit the floor, literally. So I do think that Pain actually
I would like to see a statement where it was like, Obito actually thinks Sasuke is way weaker than Pain. I just don't know if that actually exists. Like, it's just like he doesn't want to roll up to Leaf Village for some unknown reason. Like, I guess it is because Naruto is there and he doesn't think he could win. But at the same time, like, it's just like he already had plans for when Pain would be defeated and things like that. He already had like made these like Batman like contingency plans for if Pain was defeated. So I don't even necessarily think he thinks like Pain is just this like unbeatable god or whatever. But yeah.
Standing up in a chant.
I was just gonna say, Sasuke almost solo killing the Raikage. I'm not sure how much.
That's not a good way of describing how that fight happened. The fight was more like Sasuke comes in the Kage summit, meets the Raikage. Raikage bullies him for like 15 minutes. Sasuke casts Amaterasu on himself in hopes that the Raikage won't hit him. And the Raikage just didn't care and hit him anyway. Like, he just like, no, I don't care. He just like karate chops him in his throat. And that's like what happens. And then he like leg drops. He's about to kill Sasuke. Like, and he just didn't care that he was going to die too. Like,
I felt like the Raikage like literally just saw Sasuke as just like this power hungry brat. And then like, even when he gets hit with the Amaterasu, he literally, instead of dealing with it, he fucking cuts his own arm off. It was just like,
yeah, he could have just, like, not hit Sasuke, but he just wanted to, like, chat out on him anyway for, like, no reason. The ass-whooping that B and the Raikage put on Sasuke is, like, unseen for the rest of the series. Nobody whooped his ass as bad as they did. It was horrific how bad he was getting whooped.
With B, it was even more so, like,
it was bad.
The fact that, like, he could not, like... It, like, Sasuke had to, like, he had Taka there as well, and they could not do fucking shit. They were trying to run away.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, who is this guy? Who is this B person? It's like, why is he putting the fucking dude?
He was holding back during that fight. He says he was playing around during that same fight, too. And, like, that he used them, like, when he gets Amaterasu'd at the end or whatever, and he, like... makes a substitution jutsu or whatever. He said he was just letting them like hit him so he could pretend like he died so he could run away from the village because the Raikage had been keeping him in the village up to this point. So this was like his way of getting out of the village.
To at least like contest this. I know some people think the Raikage would just instant blitz and annihilate Pain. I don't think that's implied at all. Yeah. The other thing that kind of
to address that real quick, actually, we know that Sage Naruto should be relative in speed to the Raikage because he's like able to move like faster than the third Raikage.
Okay, so for one, this is War Arc Naruto, Sage War Arc Naruto. I don't know if people realize this, but this is the same difference that, you know, Kage Summit and Pain Arc Kakashi has to War Arc Kakashi. Yeah. Like, the difference, but think about the difference between, like, Kage Summit Kakashi and War Arc Kakashi, right? Like, how much of a severe, like, War Arc Kakashi is, like, reacting to, like, KCM Minato, he's spamming Kamui, he's destroying the 7 Ninja Swordsmen by himself, he's crazy. War Arc Kakashi's way stronger than, like, Pain Arc and, like, Kage Summit Kakashi, right? Like, that area Kakashi, he's way stronger than them, okay? Way stronger than he used to be. This is the same time period that Naruto has between the Pain Arc and the War Arc. So I don't think it's fair to say you can just say Naruto's the same strength, especially after he did KCM training and has fought multiple people in the meantime. And, you know, there's like a direct statement that fighting people is like better than any form of training, right? So Naruto's fought multiple people, right? He's trained in between there. And it's like the same gap between Pain Arc and Kage Summit Kakashi and War Arc Kakashi. So I don't think we can say these are the same Narutos at all, at least definitively. And also, I don't think the third Raikage is ever actually shown to be relative to the fourth Raikage. So, reacting to the third Raikage is cool and all, but is he actually as fast as fourth Raikage? I don't think so. Like, the only thing he has is, like, he's able to react to a clone of KCM Naruto, which, how good is that clone? You know? We don't really know. Yeah. So, that's my
just like,
at least.
Like, I just feel like there's been so many statements where just the fourth Raikage just is like, he's the most superior of the Raikage. And it's just like, one of like it's like, oh, well, the third Raikage is a beast, but he, like, stalemated the 8 tails. But then you have, like, the fourth Raikage who whose literal rival is the Jinchuriki, like the perfect Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails. So
Yeah, exactly.
where do we go from there?
So, if we just quickly assume that, like, A the fourth and A the third are, like, relative speed, then, like, yeah.
Why?
Like, him,
No.
like, getting, like,
Man, he literally just did the thing I was just talking about. Why are they relative? There ain't no proof that they're relative in speed. Raikage, like,
Yeah.
he reacts to a clone of KCM Naruto and then gets blitzed by, like, the Sage Naruto. Like, I don't think you can say that, like, this Naruto is fat. Like, Raikage made Naruto go full speed at the beginning of the war before he'd even fought anyone. Like, full power, not a clone of Naruto, like, just straight up full power Naruto made him go full speed. Like, I do not think you can say that this Raikage is faster than, or the third Raikage is faster than the fourth, or even relative. Like, there's just no evidence of that whatsoever. The only things we really know about the third Raikage is that he has a Hell Stab that's apparently pretty scary, and that he also stalemated the Eight Tails. So, those are the only things we know about the third Raikage. You can't say he's relative.
annihilated immediately by a speed blitz. That shouldn't really be a factor.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
Definitely could be.
it's kind of debatable whether or not you think Sage Naruto has better reaction and combat speed than KCM. That's a whole different can of worms. Naruto seems to think it is. There's like weird arguments you can make about that. But the other narrative argument is, of course, that Zetsu, despite being the Akatsuki's intel man, he knows about Minato, he knows about Kakashi, he knows about all the Kage. He's been watching since the days of Kaguya, waiting for his chance to raise people up to destroy the world, right? This Zetsu thinks that Obito even conceiving that Pain would ever be defeated was inconceivable. He thought it was just completely unthinkable that anybody would have taken down Pain, despite him being the Akatsuki.
Okay, Seth is being way too much of a hype man right now. Let me...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Zetsu says, I never imagined Pain would be taken down. Zetsu knows about the entire history of the shinobi world, right? He knows about Kaguya, he knows about Madara, right? He knows about all of these crazy people who are definitively stronger than Pain, right? He's not saying, oh, no one in my imagination ever would be able to beat Pain. He's just saying that no one he thinks would fight, that would have fought Pain would have beaten him. He didn't think Sage Naruto would beat him, right? Like, this doesn't mean, this isn't applicable to everyone he's ever thought about ever. We don't really know who he's taking into consideration, because, like, he's obviously not taking people like Hidan into consideration, right? Because, like, he's not saying, like, because why would Hidan ever fight Pain, right? Like, why would these random people ever fight Pain? He's obviously talking about from the context of who's actually going to be fighting Pain, not just everyone ever. Or, like, how far are we going to take the statement? Like, is he saying, like, he thinks, like, Kaguya wouldn't beat Pain? Like, is that what we're saying? You know, like, I never imagined Pain would be taken down. The way Seth is saying is, like, he never thought anybody would be able to take him down. I mean, I'm pretty sure if Zetsu thought Kaguya would fight Pain, he'd probably think Kaguya would, like, murder stomp him, right? Like, I don't think we're going to sit here and say that this statement applies to everyone Zetsu thinks about, so...
He's
I'm trying to
intelligent.
find
He
it.
watched Naruto beat Kakuzu. He saw all the fights with Deidara. He saw the fight with Sasori. He saw Hiruzen versus Orochimaru. He saw all of those battles, but Pain losing, inconceivable. So
Yeah, he did see all of these battles, but who's he actually taking into account? Did he think Deidara was going to fight Pain or something? Like, again, like, he also saw Kaguya fight Hagoromo. Like, that's something he saw, too. Are we gonna, like, how far are we gonna stretch this, like, line of reasoning? Like, if we're actually gonna take it to where his line of reasoning would lead, this means he thinks it's inconceivable for Kaguya and Hagoromo to beat Pain, too. It's a pretty stretch argument. That's where his reasoning leads, right? Because if we're just talking about, you know, if he stops it just, like, at the Akatsuki, right? Like, if he just stops it there, then he's just randomly stopping, right? It's a complete arbitrary position at that point. Like, oh, he only thinks these people. He's just inserted in his headcanon at that point.
it's
I was
very-
just gonna say, there's just like this argument that I thought about after I heard this one that he says. And you can correct, and you can like critique it if you want. Basically, what my was like. So he's saying that like, so we know that like basically Black Zetsu's whole plan was like is that he knows the entire history of Naruto and even manipulated certain events.
He manipulated the
certain
entire
things-
history of the shinobi world. Like, he caused all of the events to happen. So him even
what I was
saying
gonna
this
say
in
was-
general is go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. I'm just
Well, yeah, I
saying-
was just gonna say like what if like you can easily say that Zetsu could be just saying this in order to help push Obito in a certain direction.
Definitely.
Like the fact that he's just saying that like, oh, pain is this strong, like I can't believe that he actually lost. It's like maybe he's actually saying that in
Might
order
just
to
be like charismatically manipulating Obito to make a decision, right? Like he is genuinely that smart. Like he did cause the events of the entire Shinobi world to happen that way. And yeah, like I said, like he doesn't think it's there's no way Zetsu actually thinks it's inconceivable for Pain to lose, right? Like obviously he would probably think Kage would beat Pain. Okay, I think anyone who has an idea of Kage would understand that they beat Pain, right? So it's not inconceivable of Pain losing to Zetsu. It's just inconceivable for anyone that would actually fight Pain would lose. You know, like I don't think Kage would ever fight Pain, right? He doesn't think these other people would ever fight Pain. And like Surfbone just said, he's manipulating the history of the Shinobi world every time he's on screen, right? Like, he's causing... There's literally a statement that he caused all of the events of the Shinobi world. Like, he's obviously a master manipulator. So, yeah, I don't even know if Zetsu's statements, for the most part, are credible. Like, there's another instance, like, that I can just think of off the top of my head, where Zetsu says that the Tsukiyomi is the most powerful genjutsu ever. He says it's the most powerful genjutsu on the planet, or whatever, when Sasuke and Itachi, during the Sasuke and Itachi fight. But we know that's not true, because Kodo Matsukami is stated by Itachi to be more powerful than Tsukiyomi in the War Arc. It's also stated in the data book to be the most powerful genjutsu. Infinite Tsukiyomi exists, right? So Zetsu, in that instance, directly says something that isn't true, right? And that's just because he is a master manipulator.
Yeah. Also,
yeah.
I just found I was looking for the scan as we were talking. This is like the one that they show in the video.
You want me to look
not
at
the
it?
one that he says. Like, there's that one, and then it's like they show right after that. It was like the one that they say, oh, it's like I didn't never imagine Pain losing. I'm looking for that one now, because I'm trying to find to see if there's any other context behind that as well.
Oh, it's whatever. We can. I think we've thoroughly gone over this anyway. So
Yeah.
let's just continue.
Mm-hmm.
Bizarre to say that Pain stands no chance because of power cliffing, though. It seems really awkward
Power
to say that.
cliffing is
but
pretty
I'll
major
let you
after
guys
the
speak
war.
for a little bit. I just want to
Yeah.
make my opening.
So the context behind what Seth is talking about is Obito is saying that he had like plans in case Pain would have died, and Zetsu's basically thinking like, why would you even make plans in case of that? What made you think that would ever happen? Right? That's what Zetsu is talking about. So he just
Zetsu's
thinks
also
that
a
Pain is,
bullshitter, though,
completely
so.
unstoppable. Like, he watches the 5 villages. He knows of Itachi and his Susanoo with the Totsuka blade. He knows about Kirin and all of that stuff.
Yeah, but does he think that this is ever going to interact with
I
Pain?
also think that
Like,
power
yeah.
cliffing in Naruto is a really weird argument for like Pain losing to the Kage, because like the power progression in Naruto is, I mean, like, it's linear, but the line definitely isn't straight, right? Like, it goes all over the place sometimes. Like, you go from like Kakashi versus Zabuza in the Land of Waves to literally like Genin fighting in the Chunin exams, and then you go up to like the Sanin level fight and like the 3-way deadlock, and then back down again to like Genin Chunin level with the Sasuke retrieval arc. So it's very reasonable to assume that like the general power level could have gone down, narratively speaking, from the Pain arc to the 5 Kage Summit arc. So I think like anybody arguing power cliffing, like Seth was saying, I mean, I think that's a bit weird.
It also seems bizarre too, because here's the thing about Naruto that a lot of people don't know, and this is more evident in the novels. Like, the people don't know that Itachi knows about Sage Mode because he read about it and studied it in school. Like, he read about Sage Mode in school, right? He was educated on it. And Shukaku is probably, one of the smartest people of in all of Naruto, he's smarter than Shikamaru, right? Who's considered a type of genius.
Well, they made him like the intel like lead, like the strategist of the whole allied shinobi forces.
Exactly.
Like, they had to pick like smart man out of the whole world, and they were like, you.
What I'm saying is
Yeah,
that this guy knows
true.
about Sage Mode. He sees Sage and Naruto. He's like, you know what, Shikamaru, I don't care if you fought Hidan and beat him with a strap. You would do nothing to Pain. You don't even go over
Shikamaru
there.
wouldn't do
I'm not
anything
going
to
with
Pain.
you.
He has
one's
nothing
going
to
over there.
counter
We
Pain.
just get in his way. Guy and Lee come. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Stop. Don't get any closer.
Shikaku doesn't tell them that it's Tsunade Slug, but yeah, like they all think that Sage Naruto is on. Like,
Yeah, why does Tsunade Slug know about Shikamaru or any of their powers? To be honest, I feel like she has never watched any of them fight. So
I was gonna say,
like,
none of those guys there.
Yeah.
None of those guys there saw Hidan or Kakuzu. So why does them?
It's just
like,
a slug.
talking-
It's not even like. And Guy is there. Like, did they think 8th Gate Guy wouldn't like stop Pain? Well, they don't know actually how strong 8th Gate Guy
All
is.
he said was just stay out of Sage Naruto's way. Let him deal with the fight.
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
mean,
all they said.
it's better
It's just
if
he's.
they do say we would get in his way or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't actually know
Right.
if they would, right? Like, I think she just wants to. It is like smarter just to let Naruto fight it out until like they think he won't be able to, or until
I
they
think,
like see the conclusion of it, because it's more dangerous if more people get in there.
I thought I was gonna say like when they say like you're probably gonna get in his way. I think it's just like the fact that he has to worry about having to protect them at the same time while having to fight Pain. It's just gonna be more detrimental to Naruto if anything. It's just better if they just stay out of the fight and let Naruto handle it.
Yeah, like what does Katsuyu know about 7th Gate Guy? Like, a 7th Gate Guy is destructive. Like, that man is insane. Like, I would not like watching base guy fight. I know this is War Arc Guy, and I know what I said about the War Arc a minute ago, but like watching base guy fight Obito and like 6th Gate Guy being able to compete with like the version 2 Jinchuriki during the War Arc, and Guy being able to just destroy Kasame casually, basically, and like all that, just thinking about that and like thinking about like Pain, like I'm just like, man, I don't like that matchup for Pain. He might just like murder them all. Like he might just run up to them and just punch them all dead. Yeah, and it's just one of those things. So Naruto appears to have a plan. We ought to trust him. I think she's just basing it off her intuition. Like, I don't think she actually knows anything. She's just like going with a gut feeling. That's what it seems like to me, at least. So, because she doesn't know
like,
all these other characters, right?
Yeah, and I think it's just like it's like Rock Lee saying, it's like they just saw Pain do something that like only the Nine Tails has been able to like somewhat be able to, which is like annihilate the Leaf Village, like destroy it entirely. It's like he could just have this unknown arsenal that they have no idea what he's capable of.
Yeah.
And shit. It's just like it's better if we just let Naruto deal with it and see if we need to help him out.
Yeah, definitely.
At all.
Sir, I don't know if you looked at the viewer count, but we're at 131 viewers.
Yeah, we're at 128. Holy shit.
31 on my screen, man.
Oh fuck.
People going crazy in here. And I think we need to get us another. You know what I'm about to do, Surfbone?
Mm-hmm.
You already know.
I think I know it.
All right, well, it'll come here in a second, but we're gonna go ahead and continue the video.
Like another level.
Exactly.
Right?
And then what people don't know is fatigued Pain
Dono Train
annihilates
I
him
knew it.
after destroying the whole Leaf Village and all the Sage Toads from that mountain. So
yeah, possibly an amped Sage Naruto, because we know that you can get mental amps in Naruto, and after he gets out of Chibaku Tensei and talking to Minato, Pain notes that all of Naruto's doubt has been erased. So
yeah,
Pain likely beat an amped up Sage Naruto.
And an example of this,
I don't know why him like losing his doubt, like being confident in a fight definitely helps, but I don't know if it's gonna like physically amp Naruto. The only like mental amp stuff that I actually remember being like directly stated, well, there's two. There's like one where it says every time Naruto says Hokage, he gets stronger in the data book. That's an actual statement. Kind of funny, but I think that's kind of an exaggeration either way. But the second one is that when Naruto is protecting people he cares about, he gets stronger, which he's already protecting people he cares about even before his doubt is erased. So I don't know if he's actually getting mentally amped here.
Pain likely beaten amped up Sage Naruto.
And an example of this is obviously he also got amps versus Haku as well, which made him above Kakashi without even a Bijou cloak. Land of Waves.
That's not true. No idea where he got that. I guess because he fought Haku, like the holding back Haku. I don't know if they it's stated anywhere, but like Zabuza just directly says Haku could take both Zabuza and Kakashi in a fight, and both of them were like bodying. It was like Zabuza was like bodying base Naruto prior to that, and Sasuke and Sakura. He just like put them in a water bubble. So, no, I don't think. I think Haku was just holding back. Like there's like an entire like narrative about Haku like being suicidal and not wanting to hurt Naruto. Like I don't know if it's that.
Also,
go ahead.
He was just getting massively weaker during the fight as it went on, and that's literally like what Sasuke was waiting for, was her to get tired enough to the point where he could actually hit her. And it's like both. That was like something that Sasuke was trying to anticipate, and that's what Haku literally states. Like, I'm getting tired because this fucking ice mirror jutsu drains a fuck ton of chakra. So this Haku is already massively weakened, not let alone just a holding back Haku that later then says, right before Naruto's about to finish her off, says, kill me.
Hey, Surfbone, I got bad news for you, man.
What?
Haku's a boy, bro.
Oh my, did I say she?
You've been...
Oh my god. It's just it's like a fucking...
He did it on purpose just to get you.
God.
Kishimoto, you cheeky bastard.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Fucking
yeah, I don't know how we're scaling, like, weakened Haku to, like... Why is base Naruto even scaled? There was, like, QB Naruto that reacted to Haku. Man, this is some weird scaling. I never... And where's this mental amp stuff come from, too? Like, where does it say that he gets a mental amp? Like, he's already... I don't know.
So these mental
massively
amps are
weakened
pivotal in Naruto,
holding back.
So. And the fact Pain
Haku
just
was my
absolutely
first trap.
annihilated.
Me too, bro.
That out of the way, I think we established this is a discussion that can be had, because some people just think it can't happen, right? So how do you think it would actually go down now that we've established it can happen?
I think the Raikage is around like Sanin level, right? Like with Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Orochimaru, right? And Pain, obviously.
I think he's around Tsunade and Orochimaru level, but I think Jiraiya's probably
he murdered him. It was awful. Jiraiya and Orochimaru, they're also implied to be around Hiruzen's level, right? In part 1, and Hiruzen is stated by Kabuto, who spies on all 5 villages, by the way, right? Kabuto's like a super intel man. Like, obviously he works for Orochimaru, who's in hiding. He's also trying to gain ultimate power, so Kabuto should have like a fair bit of knowledge on the 5 villages, and he thinks that Hiruzen is the strongest Kage out of all of them.
Okay, I'm gonna address this really quickly. No, I think the Raikage is definitely faster than all of them. Like, faster than Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru. And the whole, like, thing about, like, Orochimaru being implied to be on, like, Hiruzen's level. Like, he was implied to be on Hiruzen's level, like, old, weakened Hiruzen. The one that was, like, mentally holding back against him because he didn't want to kill a student. And what's not acknowledged is that Hiruzen, once he stopped, like, during the fight, like, Hiruzen, when he, is, like, actually engaging with them, it's, like, as soon as he like, once he realizes that he has to kill Orochimaru, like, he can't play with him, like, there's literally, like, a little flashback scene with him, he, like, immediately breaks out of, like, all of their restraints, seals Tobirama and Hashirama immediately, and then just, like, Reaper Debts Orochimaru, like, kicks his sword out of his hand and Reaper Debts him, just completely annihilates his entire plan, right? So, yeah, weakened old Hiruzen being relative to them, I guess is fine, but it's, like, or who are, like, what's the village even saying by, like, Hiruzen's the strongest of the 5 nations, right? Like, which Hiruzen? Like, the old weakened Hiruzen, or the last time they saw him fight? Like, when they saw him fight the Nine Tails, right? Like, which Hiruzen are they even talking about, you know? Because that would be the one I would assume that they're basing their, like, judgment off of, is the last time they see Hiruzen fight. Because Hiruzen doesn't fight often. He fought, like, the last known time we saw him fight was, like, against the Nine Tails, right? Or maybe Orochimaru, when he let Orochimaru escape. But, Yeah, and he was like 50 then. He was like 15 years younger than he was when he fought Orochimaru the second time. And a lot can happen in 15 years. Like, Hiruzen literally says his old body is like keeping him back from fighting Orochimaru at full power. So it's not like Hiruzen is just scaling to this. It's the strongest Orochimaru we've seen up to that point in the series, and probably either the strongest or second strongest Orochimaru in the series. But it's the weakest Hiruzen we see, completely the weakest. So I don't like that argument at all.
Yeah, the fucking man.
I mean,
Raikage is Sonny level. I just
he's definitely
hate that
Tsunade's
statement in
level.
general.
Like,
Yeah,
he's definitely
like-
Tsunade's level, so I don't mind that. But
Right, it's just like
100
the
healing
statement
Tsunade,
really
that is,
annoys
not
me.
base Tsunade,
Like,
100 healing Tsunade. Yeah, it
Right.
is annoying. It is annoying. I know what you mean, but I mean, old Hiruzen was kind of slapping Guruguru in the Buddha statue. Edo Hiruzen was doing that. The good thing about the Edo is even though it nerfs you, it also makes you not have like the health and physical restraints you had while being alive. So Hiruzen actually got amped because of the Edo Tensei. That's why he's like able to like react to Jubito and stuff. So
and they have like an unending supply of chakra as well.
Yeah.
So
the major issues with Hiruzen is that he's old, but the Edo Tensei bypasses that. So, like, him being an Edo is actually really good, for him at least.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with, like, Nagato. Like, Nagato's, like, crippled and can, like, hold up the Chibaku Tensei for, like, 10 seconds when he's alive. But, like, during the war arc, he summons a massive one that's about to, like, murk, like, B, Itachi, and Casey and Naruto all at once, and he's just completely okay with doing it. So... yeah, there's quite a bit of a difference between, like, Edo Hiruzen and alive Hiruzen.
I would also like to say, too, before anybody says, well, what if the Kage got swapped out? And I think the only Kage implied to be, like, taken out of power between that statement and the 5 Kage summit is, like, Yagura, who I think we can all agree May is not stronger than.
Yeah,
so,
Yagura is actually pretty crazy. So
yeah, so and by the way, yeah, like if we
May's
got Pain
downplayed, but
above
yeah,
Yagura
probably.
from that
Yagura
statement,
is
that's
probably
another
stronger.
thing too. But that's kind of a separate thing. The main thing to take away is that Pain should be above Hiruzen, since Orochimaru was above him, and Pain should be there.
Pain above Hiruzen. This was the thing I was talking about in the last stream that I deleted. Seth made a video on Hiruzen going through his scaling, and if you go and watch that video, he has probably the highest scaling you can have for Hiruzen in a video, right? Like, there's some new stuff me and Naya recently found, pretty recently at least, that puts him higher, but like the scaling Seth used in that video was really good. It was like the high-end stuff for Hiruzen, right? Or like the really good scaling for Hiruzen, like him reacting to Jubito, him being like faster than Tobirama and Minato, being stronger than Hashirama, like tons of crazy stuff that Hiruzen had. And they're just saying like Pain is stronger than him now. Like, do they think like Pain could beat Hashirama in a fight?
oh man,
It's just crazy to me the difference. Like, I know Seth doesn't take his collaboration videos as seriously as like his like singular like analytical videos, but I'm pretty sure from what I watched, he agrees with Swag here. So it's disturbing to me that people think that like Hiruzen, who is like stated like on 3 separate occasions just to be the strongest Hokage, he just also has like speed feats of like being faster than Tobirama, like saving Casey and Minato from the God Tree and stuff. He has feats of like reacting to Jubito and things like that. They think he just loses to Pain, like Pain that's like comparable to Sage Naruto and base Naruto. No, it's pretty insane stuff.
Or
Yeah.
stronger
Also,
than all.
something I just want to bring up real quick. Because I know a lot of people, especially the people who are gonna like defend Seth and Swag and all. Well, mainly Seth in this instance. They're gonna be like, "Well, Seth already said that in his collabs, like he's not that serious or anything." It's like, I think, and you might agree with this as well, is that I think what Seth means by that is like you said this yesterday, like this is more like Seth going off the top of his dome what the arguments he could just make in like right now, and it's like in any other video where it's just like a more serious video, it's like he has time to prep and make a full-on script for shit. He can think about arguments, whether or not he actually wants to make them, and he can take them out or make them better over how long he wants to actually make the video for. So it's like So don't really take that super seriously and just try to be like, well, he says this not serious though. It's like, but this is basically just him off the top of his dome. I don't think he's really holding back any real positions that he has. So
Exactly.
All the people at this summit.
Another thing I find interesting is that people argue this power cliffing thing, but then they're so willing to accept that Hiruzen can come back and fight off the
He's not referring to Old Man Hiruzen, by the way. He's literally showing panels of Warlock Hiruzen fighting Guru. He's not talking about old Hiruzen. He's talking about the power cliff argument too, because people argue that the War Arc heavy power cliffs, like the Pain Arc and before. Like
He argued that.
A power cliff. Let me describe what a power cliff is for people. Power cliff is basically where a series, like at a certain arc or a certain point in the series, the power just exponentially goes up and like cliffs over the previous scaling, right? And a lot of people like to argue that the War Arc power cliffed basically everything else, and that's like when it became like Dragon Ball. So he's not referring to old Hiruzen. He is definitely referring to like Edo Hiruzen. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just like, this is something that Seth argued himself, that like when the aura comes at it power cliff. So I don't know why he's trying to act like he's trying to disassociate from
Maybe
that.
he changed his position. I don't know.
Like, I remember him specifically saying in other videos that, like, talking about the power cliffing in, like, that's why, like, Tsunade, like, especially in, like, the fucking, in his, like, Kage video, he was talking about why Tsunade was so low, because due to the power cliff in the series.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, that's why she's so low.
I guess
like,
he just had to have changed his position. I don't know. Well,
drastically.
yeah. He went back to the old arguments that were bad, so. Anyway.
Buddha statue that's fighting off the entire Shinobi Alliance by itself, but he's supposed to be weaker. The only thing difference is he has more stamina, right? Like, but so his power is enough to fight off the being at once that's gonna blow away like the Shinobi Alliance.
Hold on. What did he just say?
But he's supposed to be weaker. But then they're so willing to accept that Hiruzen can come back and fight off the Buddha statue that's fighting off the entire Shinobi Alliance by itself. But he's supposed to be weaker. The only thing difference is he has more stamina.
He's supposed to be weaker. He's saying,
wait, what?
Edo Hiruzen's weaker than, like, Old Man Hiruzen from Part 1, the one that could, like, barely hang with, like, the shittiest Edo Tenseis in the series? That's just, okay.
Oh, fuck,
Let's think about, like, what Hiruzen was shown alive versus Edo. Alive, he's comparable to Hashirama and Tobirama, the worst Edos in the entire series, literally stated to be the worst Edos in the entire series. Later gets revived as an Edo Tensei alongside a near full power Tobirama and Hashirama, directly stated from Tobirama that they're near full power, right? They're like able to fight Jubito, right? These kind of guys. He fights alongside them, and he's not doing bad. He does really well. He's faster than Tobirama and Minato. And he's like fighting. I understand Edo is a nerf, right? Like Edo is definitely a nerf. But the physical attributes that were causing Hiruzen to be bad while alive are just demonstrably a greater detriment than the Edo nerf. Like, they are just affecting his body so severely by the time he fights Orochimaru that he's just not able to fight anywhere near his full power, is basically what that means. Because that means if like, Hiruzen didn't have the Edo nerf and his, like, alive, like old man problems, right? If he didn't need his Viagra, then he would be disgusting, right? He'd be obviously that's where the statements come from of him being the strongest Hokage. That's probably what it means. It probably means like Prime Hiruzen is greater than like all of the Hokage, which is what's stated. So it makes sense, but like the difference between that Hiruzen and the Hiruzen that fights alongside Hashirama and Tobirama is completely different. Those guys are crazy. Yeah, terrible argument though.
Right? Like, but so his power is enough to fight off the being at once that's gonna blow away like the Shinobi Alliance, but he got power cliff. Seems kind of bizarre to me, you know what I'm saying? So also this will be including Danzo. So how do you guys think Danzo will handle pain?
So Danzo's actually pretty interesting because I think that
he's trash.
He has a better matchup against Pain than Tsunade does just because of his hacks. But I don't think he has any like AP or like any like hacks of his own, unless we use like the Storm reverse tetragram seal that's like an insta kill.
In the sword.
But unless we use that, I don't think he has like the AP to put Pain down.
Unless
so like now that
they counters. I don't know.
yeah. So like now that we've got all the narrative stuff out of the way, the thing about like the Kage fighting against the passive Pain is that not only is Pain like physically strong, right? Because you know, like the Asurapath, for example, was able to physically overpower Jiraiya and like rip off one of his limbs. So we know that they should be physically strong enough to contend with them. But also
in Sage mode.
Yeah, in Sage mode. But they should also be like they're just way more like hacks. The craziest example of like Pain hacks is when like B like just runs up to Nagato and like full powered like V2 cloak lariats him, and this is like a Tai jutsu, by the way, right? So it's not like I don't think that the Pratapath can just absorb like regular punches that aren't being amped by chakra, and like B does this and like runs up to Nagato and just punches him, and Nagato takes no damage and actually like instantly sucks up all of B's chakra, and like he sucks him straight out of V2. He goes back to base and is completely blown away. And Kisame says something along the lines of like B has so much chakra that if he were to absorb it all, it would drive him insane. And Nagato just like right there in the blink of an eye sucks it all up at once. So I find it really hard to imagine that any of them would have just this massive, like humongous, gargantuan attack that would just like kill all of the Pains at once that the Pratapath wouldn't be.
The base Rasengans were able to one-shot them. Like, Konohamaru's base Rasengan can one-shot them. They're not durable. The best feat Pain has, the best durability feat any of the pads that Pain have, was the Six Tails Biju Bomb that he took, which basically put him at like, I think it was calced at island level, if I'm not mistaken. So, if Pain's best feat, let's see if I can pull up the calc real quick. See if I can find it real fast.
Oh, I think I can.
Six Tails Naruto Biju Bomb. We'll do calc. This is the one I'm thinking of. Alright. Yeah, so. Right here. They measured how big the blast was with pixel scaling, right? And I know people sometimes have problems with pixel scaling, but all pixel scaling is just trying to like get a frame of reference and measure it. It's like if you've ever seen on a map where they have like the scale thing at the bottom, they'll show you like how far 50 miles is on a map. That's what this is. That's basically they're just figuring out like how tall the average tree is, how many pixels it is, and then comparing how many pixels that is to the tree, and then figuring up its size from there. Really simple. Obviously, it's not like super solid because, you know, things aren't always, you know, drawn to like scale. But this one's pretty obvious because it's pretty clear how big Kishimoto wanted to make it. It's like a top-down view. He wanted it to be pretty big, and it's just drawn way smaller than all of the other Biju bombs. It's not big, and it got calced at island level. So his best feat's like island level, his best durability feat, and that's when only one Pain is up too. So that's at the strongest Pain has ever been is island level. All the others.
When you brought up that shit, he would like it in like the 6 debate. 6 just like, how am I gonna upscale like Pain from this? Literally says that to himself. It's just like, but then he's just right here like, yeah, like Pain would actually do well against the fucking like Kage summit. It's like, oh my lord, bro.
Listen, there's a character in this that I think is just absolutely disgusting. So I'll get to why I don't think Pain does well at the Kage summit here in a minute.
Yes.
But
yes.
It's the same reason. The only reason Sasuke did well at the Kage summit was because of Obito. And I'll talk about it in a minute, but there is a certain character that is just not fair for fucking Pain to fight. But anyway, let's get back to this video.
Able to absorb.
I would argue he would easily absorb even the particle style as well. Like,
he did. No, he would because Madara did it.
Yeah, Madara did it. And like Seth mentioned, this is including Danzo, and Danzo is actually directly weaker than Pain. So there's a statement from Suigetsu whenever Suigetsu meets up with EMS Sasuke, right? That reviving Orochimaru is a bad idea because Sasuke always underestimates him. And Orochimaru,
Smart.
even without his arms, will still be dangerous to him, right? Now, so
Yeah.
guess who doesn't know about EMS Sasuke, but he does know about MS Sasuke and his Susanoo because he was with him in the Kage summit, right? So
I actually brought
he's
this
saying that
argument up in one
now
of my
they
videos.
just surpassed their mentors, whereas that earlier Sasuke didn't. Obviously, being Orochimaru, you know, like the Sani tier of people who
Yeah.
pain just scales over, right? And Danzo scales to MS Sasuke, if not below him. So pain actually is just above Danzo, literally.
Yeah, well, like another way you can easily like put.
I actually want to talk about Sasuke real quick. Kakashi was shown pretty relative to the paths of pain, at least when all five or when all of them were up, right? Like he was able to like react to them at multiple points and stuff like that. Sasuke in base was relative to that same, to possibly a stronger and faster Kakashi, but let's just assume they're equal for a second, even though it's later in the series. Sasuke blitzes that Kakashi. Like, I don't think these people understand, like, how much faster Sasuke has gotten when he got his, like, Mangekyo, especially, like, Kage Summit Sasuke is, like, even faster than the one that fought Danzo and Kakashi, things like that. So, it's just possible Sasuke might just be faster than the Paths of Pain. Like, he blitzed Kakashi way harder than they did. like Kakashi says the only way he can react to them is with his Kamui, where he never had to do that with the Paths of Pain. In fact, he actually implies that he could kill a Path of Pain when they're all down. He says he could kill one with his Kamui, but he just doesn't think it's tactically worth it because they'll just resurrect. So he saves Choza instead. Or Choji, I can't remember which one it was who he saved. But, yeah, Sasuke might just be faster than the Paths of Pain. So I feel like they're downplaying him. That wasn't really relevant to the point they were making. They were just making the argument that, like, Orochimaru is dangerous to MS Sasuke or whatever, which is true, but why is he dangerous, right? Like, what's Orochimaru known for, right? It's his intelligence. He's dangerous because he's smart. He can create stuff that is, he made the Edo Tensei what it was, basically, right? He didn't create the Edo Tensei, but he improved upon it to an extent that it became a major force during the war. You know, he's dangerous not because he's strong enough to beat MS Sasuke. We saw what happened when armless Orochimaru tried to fight Sasuke, right? Like, he's just way slower than him. He's not physically on his level at all. The way in which Orochimaru would win would be through some, like, crazy, like, intelligence feat or, like, some weird, you know, a situation that happens. He would plan out some kind of event, because that's why Orochimaru is scary. It's because he always can come back, and he always has, like, these weird, like, side plans. He's probably the smartest character in the series besides Zetsu, right? So,
the same like armless Orochimaru like took on both like Tsunade and Jiraiya without those same arms and was able to do fairly well against them as well.
Yeah.
So.
And like this statement, I don't even think is necessarily like saying that Orochimaru is like strong enough or fast enough to beat Sasuke, because he literally says armless Orochimaru is a threat to you, right? But we know armless Orochimaru is not scaling to Sasuke physically, right? So that means pretty much the only thing that seems like reasonable to me that the statement means is like Orochimaru's like planning and intelligence is dangerous to Sasuke. Which is true. It's dangerous to everyone. That dude is crazy smart. The stuff he comes up with is insane. He's like, I'm not gonna get into his intelligence feats because I'm researching Orochimaru right now. I'm gonna make a video on him soon. But yeah, he's nasty. But not just because he's like physically powerful or something like that. So
Pain above one of the Kage too is that Orochimaru should be, like, without sickness, of course, should be stronger than Heavy Sasuke, especially the Heavy Sasuke before he absorbed Orochimaru. And that Sasuke beat Deidara, who beat Gaara. So, you know, Pain's like by like multiple levels, you know, above Gaara pretty easily too.
okay. The only reason Deidara beat Gaara, I don't know why Sag didn't think about this, was because Gaara was protecting the village. It's directly stated. Wait,
did he say that Deidara?
Yeah, he's basically scaling Deidara above Gaara, but the only reason Deidara beat Gaara was because Gaara defended the village instead of protecting himself. It was the entire like thing about that was like it was such a heroic sacrifice. Like that it's I don't know why he's saying Deidara just beat Gaara. Gaara was like destroying, like Deidara was sweating so bad when Gaara was pressuring him. He was just flying around trying to dodge his sand. And he's like, I know a way to win. I'll drop a bomb on the village so he'll be forced to protect it instead of himself to get an opening. That's literally how he did it. So,
And
yeah.
like Gaara's just doing his normal shit of just crossing his arms and allowing his sand to do everything,
Yeah.
while he just doesn't do anything. It's like, yeah, and like he literally verbatim says like, dude, this is bad. I need to like drop the biggest bomb I have right now and just annihilate.
Data is freaking out
try
fighting Gaara. Hold on, what was the other part of his scaling? Let's listen.
That Orochimaru should be, like, without sickness, of course, should be stronger than Heavy Sasuke, especially
Possibly.
the Heavy Sasuke before he absorbed Orochimaru. And that Sasuke beat Deidara, who beat Gaara. So, you know, Pain's like
I think
by,
Gaara and Sasuke scale above Deidara.
levels, you know, above Gaara pretty easily too. So yeah, you know, we've already.
Is he saying like Pain's above Heavy Sasuke too? I guess. So he's just like
Yeah,
saying
he
Pain's
is.
above Heavy Sasuke, who's above Deidara, who's above Gaara, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, because Gaara is stronger than Sasuke at that point in the series. Gaara is faster than the Sasuke that fought the Raikage. Like Kage Summit Sasuke was about to get like stomped on by the Raikage, right? He's like summoned his Amaterasu to block it or whatever, which does show good speed feat, like a good reaction speed feat. But Gaara actually intercepts them with his sand, so he's actually like able to intercept the Raikage, whereas Sasuke wasn't really able to even move, right? Like Gaara's sand is fast enough to blitz the Raikage, basically, and Sasuke was getting like murked by him the entire time. Gaara's really nasty.
He needed to bring up his like fucking his ribcage Susanoo, which got cracked by the Raikage and almost practically was getting melted by Mei's like lava.
Acid, yeah.
Like, or acid, yeah. Like, and I think he's just trying to preface the fact that like Pain is above Heavy Sasuke because he's already
He's like
because
scaling Heavy
said
Sasuke
earlier-
above a Gaara that's like way far away. Like beginning of the series to the Kage Summit is quite a bit of distance, right? It's a completely different Gaara. Gaara has better speed feats than back then, and even then, like even if we're just addressing like the Gaara that fought Deidara, like that Gaara, like he's not relative to Deidara. He would have beaten Deidara, like he was doing fine against Deidara. So again, like this argument is just really weird to me. And he's also not talking about abilities. He's just saying like scales above. Like what does he scale above in?
Also, Heavy Sasuke, there's literally a statement that like he literally waited till like Orochimaru was at his weakest, and then he was going to try to take him down.
Yeah.
So, all right, want to continue?
He knocked two of them
anyway.
out.
I think another thing that people underestimate is that absorption ability. So you brought up a good example.
It's his
what
best
people
ability.
don't know is that absorption ability is literally pretty much infinite. Like people don't know
Yeah,
that.
it's
but
stated to be a bottomless pit,
it
right?
literally like
I've never seen
absorbs
that statement,
all
but I wanna
energy
see
into
it.
like an infinite, endless pit of just nothing, right? Like a swamp of nothing.
Yeah.
And he can pretty much just absorb everyone, and he can do like 8 Tails version 2 of Killer Bee in a snap, which is more chakra than any of these Kage have. So he can literally instantly.
I don't know if
sap
Pain
all
can
of
do
them.
that, but maybe Nagato can. Like again, this is like one of those things where like Nagato's absorption ability and Pain's absorption ability are probably different. Like Nagato is clearly physically superior to Pain. Like his feats are just way better, right, than Pain had. He's able to fight B, KCM Naruto, people like that. You know, B and KCM Naruto fight Itachi. We gonna say like Pain Arc base Naruto is like that level? We gonna say like Pain Arc base and Sage Naruto would just like beat Itachi and people like that? Like, no. But yeah, his absorption is really good.
And basically, if he gets his hands on them. Another thing I wanted to bring up is that if we have full power Tendo Pain, I wonder if just Shinra Tensei would just one-shot some of them. Okay, so it blew away and damaged Sage Naruto, Gamma Bunta, and all of the Sage Toads, and
It
pretty
didn't
much
damage
almost
Naruto.
one-shot
Naruto
all of
tanked
them
it.
in one attack. While he
Yeah, it broke all of Gamabunta's bones, and I was
Gamabunta's
going
trash.
to bring this up in a totally unrelated discussion. But Gamabunta should be like Biju level, because you know we literally watched him fight Shukaku.
And
He's
lose.
taking attacks from Shukaku.
No, he didn't. He took one air bullet, not even a Biju bomb or anything like that. He took an air bullet from a weakened Shikaku, and said if he takes one more of those, he'll die. Like, not even just like he'll be damaged or he'll be messed up for the rest of the fight. He said he would die if he took another air bullet. No. Gamabunta or Shikaku too. Not
Oh
even
my
like
God.
the Eight Tails or something. They're like Shikaku, that one, right?
Yeah.
A weakened Shikaku, and he thinks Gamabunta is like Biju level. He was getting thrashed. Like
Yeah.
he was getting
Oh my-
thrashed. It wasn't like he was like, Naruto, I'm gonna die if I don't do something. Like I don't know. And that doesn't
But
mean
you need to transform me into something that will allow me to get you close to Gaara, so then Shukaku can go away. It's like, what are
Gaara
you
swapped
talking
hands with
about,
full
bro?
Kurama. No, he didn't. What happened was Minato summoned Gamabunta. Gamabunta landed on top of the Nine Tails, and because he's so fat, the Nine Tails didn't lift him for a second, and then threw him off, like, a few pages later. That's all that happened. He didn't fight the Nine Tails, he didn't take a shot from the Nine Tails, he doesn't scale the He doesn't scale the Shikaku! How do you think he's gonna scale the Nine Tails? The one that, like, blew away 5 Biju bombs combined from all of the other Biju. You think Gamabunta scales to them? You think Shikaku scales to the Nine Tails or something? Like, you think... Okay, this is the scaling.
Man.
Gamabunta, way lower than Shikaku, way lower than the Nine Tails. You think Gamabunta is relative to the Nine Tails? No.
Like, and I mean, like he says, like, you know, he can't take too many or else he'll die. But like Shikaku doesn't one-shot him, and then Pain just runs up. Gamabunta is not even his main target. It just boom breaks all of his bones, right? So, like Seth was saying, if this is full power Tendo Pain, it could very easily, like, they might just kill Mei. You know, Gaara, like, I mean, like, I know Gaara has a sand to block stuff, but I don't think sand could, like, block, like, a concussive, like, wave of, like...
Plus, the Shinra Tensei will
Why? Why wouldn't it?
It would.
It's an like you know, like the Shinra Tensei didn't even like completely obliterate the village, right? Like it just kind of like pushed them, like, the buildings to the outside. Like it definitely heavily damaged it, but it didn't like even like complete. Like, hold on, let me grab a picture of what the village looked like after Pain like obliterated it. Leaf Village destroyed. Let's look at that. Yeah, like what? You can see, like, in some of the images, like, it didn't even, like, destroy the buildings, right? Like, obviously, like, it did, like, push them and stuff, and it does, like, push it really far, but, like, just, like, it's not actually, like, that good at destroying stuff. So, like, it is good. Like, it is still, like, I can't remember how much force is actually behind this. I don't remember what the calc said.
I was just about to look for the...
But, like stuff
what
can
was,
resist
like,
it. Go ahead.
I was trying to find the... Let's see, what was the...
Also,
I'm trying to find, like, if there was, like, a calc for the C3 that he used against Gaara. I don't know if there is one. Is there?
I'm not for sure. The only dub Gamabunta takes in the entire series is fighting the animal Pat's, like, animal summons. That's the only time he ever wins. Like, every other time in the series, he's just getting bodied by stuff. Like, it's like, he fights Shikaku, gets bodied. Fights the Nine Tails, gets thrown around. He fights Pain, gets Shinra Tensei, and gets all of his bones broken. Who else does he fight? Like, I think that's it. Like, he takes, like, 3 L's and 1 dub in the entire series. And that's just how Gamabunta is. But yeah. Putting, like, sand in front of you would be a great way to take a concussive force. You know, like, when you're in a tornado, they tell you to get in your bathtub and, like, put a mattress over you. It's partially to keep, like, shards of stuff from hitting you. But also, just having stuff on top of you makes, it requires more energy for, like, a shockwave to get to you, right? Like earthquakes, they tell you to do the same thing. They want you to, like, keep your head covered and stuff. They want you to put stuff on top of your head. And it's because the stuff you put on top of your head will help block force coming to you, right? It's like having a shield. That's what a shield is, literally, to help you block force. So, obviously, having sand that can withstand Datara's C3, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, the strongest bomb he ever created, stronger than the bomb that he used to one-shot Biju with, stronger than that bomb. His sand can withstand that level of concussive force. Not, like, exactly what it was. Literal concussive force. The same as the Shinra Tensei, which is also concussive force. So yeah, Gaara Sand would totally be able to block the Shinra Tensei. Why are these people downplaying Gaara? Gaara's great, bro.
Yeah.
These people are sleeping on Gaara. Oh.
And this ain't gonna be like, even if say the Shinra Tensei was able to blow away that shit, it's not like an actual shield where Gaara has to literally hold it in place and then he gets blown back black with it. The sand would just get blown away and then he would just stand there. So
I would agree that Mei doesn't have good durability feats. Like, we don't really see her do anything good durability-wise, so it might kill her, which... Mei has good speed feats, so you might be able to argue Mei would be able to, like, melt the pains, like, just run up to them and melt them or whatever, but...
Yeah.
People like the Raikage would just tank it, right? The Raikage is more durable than Kakashi, who could tank it. He's more durable than Sage Naruto could tank. He's one of the most durable characters in the entire series in general. He was able to tank shots from Biju. He's just stated to have like Biju levels of power and things like that. Shinra Tensei's never shown relative to anything like that in the entire series. Biju can like blow up like small country to multi-continental levels of force. This is like destroying a city, you know. Like I wouldn't say this is nearly as good as that. So the Raikage would probably just tank it on his manly chest, to be honest. And then Inoki headbutted a multi-continental meteor and was fine. So, I don't know if that would affect him either, to be honest. Like, he would probably just take it as well. He literally headbutted a multi-continental meteor that was going to, like, wipe out the Shinobi Alliance. And then another one got dropped on his head. He took 2 meteors to the forehead and was fine. And was still fighting. I don't... They think the city level thing is gonna do... Like, what happens when Inoki just... I'm not gonna get into it yet, but...
They say they explain in the video. We'll see.
Alright. They explain in the video. Alright, well, let's find out.
Negate his sand anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because it's, like, stated to negate all...
It would also negate...
Like, a concussive, like, wave... of like
plus the Shinra Tensei would negate his sand anyway.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's right, because it's like stated to negate all.
It's stated to negate all jutsu.
Oh man. No way they just said that. Oh my god.
So we have an exact description of what the Shinra Tensei is from both Kakashi and the data book. An exact description of what it is. It's a gravity wave. Okay, he just sends, or it's an electromagnetic wave, my bad. It's an electromagnetic wave that he just sends out. An electromagnetic wave, right? It's just a wave of energy that blows stuff back. That's all it does, okay? It doesn't do anything else. That's why, like, you can just physically withstand it if you're strong enough, right? That's why, like, Kakashi and base Naruto were able to survive getting hit by it, right? They didn't die. They were able to tank it. It's because it doesn't, like, have some durability passing attribute to it. It doesn't bypass durability. So why would it negate all jutsu? It's obviously an exaggeration. It's probably just saying that, you know, like, it's probably just saying that to hype up Pain. Like,
Six Tails literally overpowers it to Pain to the point where Tendo has to literally point out. He's like, he's overpowering my almighty push.
Gaara Sand isn't even a jutsu either. It's not a ninjutsu. It's just sand. Like, what?
Yeah.
You just logically reason, hey, you know, if you're durable enough, you can tank this, and if you put sand on you, it makes you more durable, right? Okay, well, the sand can help then, so how durable is the sand? Durable enough to tank Data or C3. Okay, how strong is Shinra Tensei? Blew up the Leaf Village. Yeah, Data or Gaara Sand would totally take that stuff. Like, it's not even close. It doesn't have some weird property that negates ninjutsu in the way that, like, it, like, deconstructs them like Particle Style does, or like, the Truth-Seeking Orbs do. Like, they actually are stated to deconstruct jutsu on a fundamental level, right? They, like, erase jutsu. They break them down. Pain Shinra Tensei doesn't do that. It negates jutsu just through sheer force. It's not some technique that erases something. It's never been shown to do that. It never did that.
Oh. So, I just want to point out this one comment by Michael, because I just think it's really funny. Shinra Tensei negates Kamui by their logic.
Yeah, it would just, like, can Pain just, like, Shinra Tensei away Kaguya's Truth-Seeking Orb? Like, is that what happens now? Like, he can just, there's Kaguya's Truth-Seeking Orb. Shinra Tensei, like, it just negates it? Like, can it just negate, like, adult Naruto's, like, giant Rasengan, like, yep, Shinra Tensei, you're gone, sorry, like, it can just do that? Like, what is this? You know, what do I think this is? I don't know, like, it negating all ninjutsu. There's tons of stuff like this, too. There's tons of stuff like this in the data book, where it says stuff like that, and it's just not true, right?
And it's like the gourd, like the sand gourd that's like in his, yeah, like the sand that's in his gourd, right, is like literally his mother's love, like controlled sand.
Yeah,
it's not
a
fucking ninjutsu.
Yeah, it's not some
ninjutsu.
new ninjutsu. But even then, like, his control of it is separate from it just also being actual physical sand. Like, it is also just sand. So, I don't know. Like, this is just a really dumb argument to me. I wish I could see, like, the actual statement that they're talking about. Let's see if we can find it.
I think they were just like, it was when he just got it back. Like, that's the one I saw that they were showing. And then they cut it off. Pain. Shinra Tensei. Manga.
I don't even know where it's at. I got the summoning technique. Man, I wish I could find this. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just like says
I'll
it.
look for it while we're watching the videos. So,
like, there's another statement in the third data book that says like that Jiraiya's like Sage Needle or whatever that uses on pain is the fastest Sage attack, right? And like things like that. Like, it's just the fastest Sage attack. The third data book doesn't account for things like in the war arc or anything like that. Because that if that were the case, it would include like Sage Naruto's Rasen Shurikens, right? That were like able to tag Kaguya. Is Jiraiya just faster than Kage and Sage Naruto, or like Sage's six pads Naruto, right? Obviously not. So these data book statements are just constantly like making things like that, and this is obviously one of those. Usually it's a case by case basis. You have to like argue what actually is like hyperbolic or not, and what's not hyperbolic. This might be what they're talking about. This here. Oh, 260, third data book. Hold on, let's go to Naruto versus. It's 260. We'll go to.
Definitely gonna keep this one. What?
I just need the data books. Hold on, let's find this. Third data book, 260. $295, $281, $260. Where is it? Huh?
Okay, I think I.
Oh, is that second data book? What is this? 260? 260. Is it second data book, maybe? It's not fourth data book. It doesn't look like fourth data book.
Something says that.
Is it fourth data book?
What
is this?
Wait a second. The one that's Viz translated, because I have it right here. You
have it?
I can actually look for it.
Post it in our DM real quick.
I have the. Well, because I'm looking for it. Let's see. What page is that? 260. Okay.
Did you DM me, Nate? If you did, I can look at it. I'll open it, but otherwise I won't. Let me just look.
Okay, this is a different. It might be a different data book because 260 is the sand prison.
Okay, Nate sent it to me.
Right.
Yeah, here's the description of what it does. I don't know where they're getting the statement, to be honest, but here, I'll just...
I think I found found it, but it's said something different in their video, so I'm trying to find that one.
Go to fourth data book, Jutsu files, Shinra. Okay, here it is. The invisible hand of God, which propels anything in creation.
Oh man,
is this what they're using? He could just blow away the universe, right? Like that's just how...
shit.
This is an obvious exaggeration. Only was shown to blow up the fucking Leaf Village, and he struggled to do that. David Path uses this jutsu using a repulsive gravitational force generated in the user's hands to repel targets. The number of targets and their size do not interfere with the repulsive ability of jutsu. In addition, by stopping using the other panes and concentrating the chakra only for jutsu, the strength and area of effect can generally be increased. With an attack of this power, Konoha no Sato was completely turned to ashes. However, after jutsu had been activated, there is an interval of 5 seconds for which jutsu cannot be used again. The repulsive force generated by the gravitational power forces the targets to collide with obstacles, increasing the initial damage of the jutsu shockwave. Only those who can manipulate all chakra natures possessing the legendary Rinnegan are allowed to own this jutsu, which has every right to be called as perfect as a diamond. The repulsive force is so strong that ninjutsu and taijutsu are equally ineffective against this jutsu. With an unexpected discharge of invisible force, it is very practical to catch opponents off guard with low guard. Okay, so the repulsive force is so strong, right? It has a strength to it that ninjutsu and taijutsu are ineffective. They don't say this deconstructs jutsu or has a way of repelling jutsu outside of strength. So basically, the jutsu just has to be strong to beat other jutsu, right? Like if there's, for whatever reason, another concussive force that was strong enough to go through the Shinra Tensei, like we saw with Naruto, you know, maybe not a jutsu, but like Naruto's body was able to go through it because he was strong enough, right? If something is strong enough, it can go through this, okay? The Biji Bombs are stronger than the Shinra Tensei. They would go through this. The Raikage scales to Biji Bombs, okay? Gaara Sand scales to the C3 and Biji Bombs, right? Both of those are stronger than Pain Shinra Tensei. It never says it deconstructs them. There's no way you can argue that this Shinra Tensei is just going to negate all ninjutsu or destroy everything in creation. Like, what is this? I don't know. It's just crazy to me that someone would even try and argue this.
I'm looking back at the fight, and literally Kakashi says that that like the Shinra Tensei is similar to the he says similar to the magnetic laws of attraction and repulsion.
Yeah. It's literally just a wave of energy. That's all it is. It's just a concussive wave of energy that throws things. That's all it does. Bombs do that, bro. Like Biji Bombs, Dater's Bombs, they all do that. And both Gaara and the Raikage are able to resist those. So no, I don't think the Shinra Tensei is effective against either of them. Anoki would probably tank it on his forehead and get pissed off. Like he wouldn't care at all. So, yeah. Shinra Tensei repelled Sage Naruto's Rasen Shuriken, which scales to at least a regular Biji Bomb, if not way more. The Shinra Tensei, it repelled like the Rasen Shuriken midair. So like, for one, that just means Naruto's like ability to throw a baseball. Like however hard he can throw the Rasen Shuriken is the force it's repelling. It's not repelling the explosion of the Rasen Shuriken or something. It's just repelling the Rasen Shuriken. It's like movement that Naruto's throwing at, if that makes sense. Like the Rasen Shuriken also would have some kind of durability, seeing as is like half physical. It's half spiritual, half physical. So if its durability doesn't necessarily scale to its attack potency, is basically what I'm saying.
All right.
Check and also,
DMs. This is the
go ahead.
This is the one that they use in the video, to say like it doesn't even say all anyway. So I don't know where they're getting that from. This is the one they literally show in the video. He
can repel both physical attacks and ninjutsu. Eh? Yeah, it doesn't help them. Anyway, what was I saying? The Rasen Shuriken is not stronger than Biji Bombs either. It's stronger than Minato, or as strong as Minato, but Minato's also not as strong as Biji Bombs. The only thing that you can maybe argue is that, like, it like, hit the Nine Tails, and Naruto's, like, fight with like Kushina, where Kushina's like half holding down like their mental fight or whatever that they had. For one, it's a dreamscape, so we don't even know if that's true. Like that's what would happen. But the Ninetales tanked it. He survived it just fine. So yeah, I don't think it is more durable. It is stronger than the Ninetales, and even if it was, it's like again like the Ross and Shuriken's durability doesn't have to be on that level. So yeah. All right, let's continue this video. I think we've debunked this point enough. We've went on a 15-minute tangent, just pissed off about this.
Negate his sand armor as well and hit him directly. So
yeah, so he'd just get blown into the wall and maybe die.
And we have no real good like base Gaara durability feats without his armor. So it's like less than Datara level with like a little bomb almost.
The only person
Gaara just blocks attacks with his sand. Like anytime he gets hit, he just dies. Really, like the only people that hit him are Datara and Madara. And
I really questioned if like someone like May would survive. Like I don't.
Gaara
know.
didn't even
She
die
would
when he got hit by
and it was
Caesar.
an accident. I don't even think he'd mean to do it. I think she would just like get her like spine broken or something.
So like a lot of people would argue, you know, like, oh well, the Pains, you know, they're good against one person, but in a team fight, but Pain was getting jumped by a bunch of people who were Kage level in the Leaf Village, like
by the whole Leaf
Kage
Village,
level.
in fact, yeah.
Saying Kage level is like saying like Biju level or Akatsuki level. Like the variance in power between the Kage and like, you know, the Biju. Even the Biju for the most part are pretty relative to each other. Like, at least the Biju outside of the Ninetales I think are pretty relative. But
do you think any of those characters you just showed in that panel are Kage level that they can?
But like, there's like Hashirama, and then there's like Tsunade, right? And they're both Kage. So saying Kage level is weird to me to begin with. I think it's just like him like trying to appeal to the normies, but Kage level's not really a thing. There's a severe gap between each Kage usually. The 5 Kage, for the most part, are pretty relative to each other. I think Inoki's way stronger and faster than all of them for the most part. But like everyone else, like Tsunade and the Raikage are just directly shown to be relative to each other. Mei is shown comparable in speed to them, so that's pretty good. Gaara is probably stronger than them all too. I think Gaara and Inoki are definitely the most powerful of the Kage. But like, Kage level is such a vague term. I just don't like using it.
Well, like, so here's the thing we actually haven't talked about yet. Like, do people not think that like the animal path summons are good at crowd control? You know,
right?
Like
they're not good at fighting people who can beat up Biju. They're
literally Tsunade.
Gamabunta like murdered them. Tsunade would rape these. Like, it wouldn't even be close. Like, Tsunade and the Raikage, Inoki would vaporize these. These are not effective at fighting any of the Kage. Mei would unironically spit her acid and melt all of them. Like, the animal path is such a useless path in this fight. They all body these things. They literally one-tap these things. Like, these are not relative to the Kage.
Yeah, she would literally spit her acid on the fucking dog, and it would go away.
Yeah. No, even still, they would just kill the animal path if, like, the dog keeps, like, splitting or whatever. Like, they would keep beating up the dog, and it would keep splitting. But, like, they would just kill the animal path eventually, right? Like, it's not like these... And they're not gonna... These summons have no good AP feats at all. Like, they're not Biju level. They get, like, destroyed by Gamabunta. They're not Biju level, right? So they're not gonna hurt the Raikage or Tsunade, who are literally Biju level. They're not going to hurt Inoki, who took Madara's meteors to his forehead. They're not going to hurt Gaara, who can tank Biju bombs and Datara C3 with his sand, right? They're useless. They're actually useless. They're good for utility, but, like, actually fighting the Kage, I don't think they're that good. Like, the Chameleon is good because it makes them go invisible, I guess. But even then, it's not great. But yeah, let's go.
Also,
I feel like
somebody just said in the chat, it's like Danzo has intel on Pain in his Renegon, so if he shows up,
that is interesting,
there,
actually. Yeah,
that
they do
that
include
Danzo would actually be able to tell them everything they need to know about Pain, and it'd just be even a big of a stomp there. So now they know everything they need to know about Pain.
Yeah,
because Danzo is there. That is true.
Yeah, Danzo could actually solo one of the Pads of Pain too by himself. He could Kodo it. Like, he could just solo one of the Pads of Pain, unironically. Like, any path he wanted to, like, Kodo'd, and that's it. Like, it's not even like it kills them either. because they're gonna be like fighting the other Kage, right? So they can maybe try and like wake it up, but they're gonna be fighting the other Kage. So I don't know, like they might not be able to wake it up. Danzo might just solo one of the pads of pain. I don't think Danzo's that useful though. Would Danzo tell though?
Danzo tell?
We just have no idea if he would. Like he's a snaky motherfucker, so he might.
I
he
feel
might
like
not.
Pain would try to kill him as well. So
Pain
I feel like
the idea is like Pain is being replaced with Sasuke, right? So Pain is for whatever reason attacking the Kage, so he probably would try and attack Danzo. Whether Danzo would engage with him or not is a different story, though. So
yeah.
Yeah, Danzo might just run away. Like, he might just, like, let the Kage die and, like, be happy with it, because now he's, like,
Maybe,
the only
yeah.
Kage. Like, he would be cool with that, probably. I hate Danzo, man.
He just goes back to the village. He's like, I tried to help the Kage as much as I can,
I was
but the
the only
best I can do is
survivor."
run away.
Yeah.
I'm the only survivor.
Yeah.
Everyone is dead.
I fought Pain for 16 hours. He killed them all except me, but I made it out alive. Like, he would say some shit like that, but...
And then he just looked at Tsunade and be like, I did what Jiraiya couldn't. I could survive the pains or something like that to, like, piss off Tsunade.
Tsunade's dead. Oh, right. No, Tsunade's not dead. I forgot she's not at the Kage
Yeah.
Summit.
Yeah.
At
Anyway.
least be able to handle like some of the.
Why is Gaara above the other Kage? He has really good speed feats, and his ceiling is disgusting. His ceiling's really nasty. So he could seal a lot of the Kage. And he's also, his sand is super durable. Like, the C3 is no joke. Like, Data's normal bombs are able to destroy, like, the Two Tails and other Biju, right? And Data says the C3 is his strongest bomb ever, and Data's sand just tanks it, like, no-sells it. So Data's sand, Gaara's sand. So he's actually just has some super powerful sand that also just has ridiculous speed. Like, he's able to intercept version 2 Raikage with it, right? He's able to, like, catch Madara's truth-seeking orbs with it and stuff in the War Arc, though. But yeah, he is disgusting, and he has really good ceiling, too, that, like, none of the Kage resist, so he's actually just one of the stronger Kages. That's what makes me so mad. These people keep downplaying Gaara. He's so many good feats. Like, he's just really good.
The Kage.
They're able to take giant Sage Rasengans and just kind of come back, like, no problem.
Yeah, like the Chimera dog just like tanks like a mega, like a
Chimera
huge
dog
Odama
is a monster.
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
even know.
No.
How did the Kage even deal with that?
What it
What?
beat them by itself?
Okay, I think
No way. No way.
Okay,
Did they just say that?
It did tank a Rasengan, I guess. It didn't tank it. It got fucking
Right.
destroyed by it. But the reason it lives is because it doesn't actually die. It just keeps, like, splitting and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
like,
like-
again, Gamabunta can solo these and, like, hold them down, right? What do the summons actually do? Like, the issue is, like, yeah, sure, maybe they're not able to kill the dog, right? What does the dog do to them, though? It's not gonna hurt them. They're all way more durable than it's ever shown capable of hurting. Like, again, the Raikage would flex on the dog and it would die. Like, maybe not kill it, but he would just look at it and probably get pissed off and blitz the animal path.
Let's say it's like if it gets really hurt, like bluntly, or if it gets like with the Rasengan, right, or if it gets like split in half or something, that'll like regenerate. So let's say I thought of a few ways. So yeah, either particle style completely vaporizes it. May completely fucking encases the thing in like
acid,
fucking
like
acid.
horrific acid that can melt like Madara
regen's
Susanoo
gonna
and shit.
Yeah, what regen's gonna do? Like, gonna make that split out.
Let's talk about why May beats the Pads of Pain. Let's talk that. I'm just kidding. I'm not going down that path yet. I will make a May. The downplay of May has been going on for so long. People just think May is terrible, but no one actually. I guess no one actually read the War Arc where she's like running alongside the Raikage and melting Madara Susanoo. I guess no one just saw that. No one saw May doing that. I guess Swag just never read that chapter. But
also,
May's actually really nasty.
Although Saucy said Gaara seals it, I'm like, no, he literally just would encase it in sand and sand coffin that motherfucker. He would squish the fucking dog. That shit would die.
Noodles earlier, they said Pain absorbs the particle style. What's his rebuttal to it? How is he going to react to the particle style?
That's what I was gonna say as well. If they
the only person that's ever reacted to it in the series, Sasuke was about to die to the particle style. The only person that's ever
Obito.
reacted to it in the
Just
series
stated
was
that.
Obito. Obito with the Kamui, the thing that specifically Kakashi, when he was fighting Sasuke, was like, the only thing I can use is the Kamui to react to this. Obito had to use the Kamui on particle style. Obito, the one who, dodged the version 2 Raikage during the Kage summit, like, the Raikage ran at him and he just phased through him and didn't give a fuck, he had to Kamui the particle style. He had to Kamui it. It's so fast. It's able to fight Mu, who's, like, it's able to, like, intercept Mu's particle style. Inoki, this is the thing I was going to talk about, vaporized 30 of Madara's perfect Susanoo clones. 30. Not perfect Susanoo, but, like, the big Susanoo. He vaporized 30 of them on the field at once. Okay?
Also,
Think about that.
this is something I was thinking about. So say because they mentioned Obito being there, right?
Yeah.
Well, like, would he give Pain the exact same treatment of saving him from the particle style if it were to about to kill him? Would he do that same shit with the Pain as opposed to Sasuke?
Yeah, I don't know.
don't
It's just
know if
that,
he's
again,
fair,
like,
honestly.
I don't know what Obito's, like, actual motive was at this point. He might, but, like, if he does that, I mean, it's good for Pain, right? But, like, how many times can he Kamui it? Like, it doesn't matter
don't
which
know.
Kage fights these Pains. This is kind of just, like, a headcanon-y scenario anyway. Like, Obito might help him, but I think the idea is that, like, Pain versus the Kage is more so the fight. So, I don't know if...
I just thought of is so let's just say they know about Inoki, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I want you to Obito's like, yeah, I want you to go fight the 5 Kage. He's like, wait, is Inoki one of them? He's like, yeah. He's like, dude, what happened? Like, I'm pretty sure Nagato would only not do it because of the idea of, like, what happens if Tendo gets caught in that shit. Like, literally Yahiko's, like, corpse gets, like, incinerated and never found again. Like,
and what happens if Inoki just doesn't, like, once, like, the Path absorbs it, right? Like, what happens if he just aims at the other paths of Pain, like when the Path is, like, fighting one of the other Kage or something, or if it's destroyed by one of the other Kage? What happens then? Like, do they just die? I think that's what happens, right? Like, they just die. Like, if anyone touches particle style, they get deconstructed on an atomic level, which does bypass your durability, by the way. That's literally how durability works. If you can destroy something on its molecular or atomic level, then you're able to get past you're moving on such a minute level that it's just literally floating through the the actual material. It's destroying it on its most fundamental level. And also, it destroyed Madara Susanoo. Let's not forget that. It destroyed Madara Susanoo. Like, it would... Any of the Paths of Pains, which get one shot by Konohama's Rasengan, would just be obliterated instantly by Inoki's particle style. It's not even close. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
Like, the Raikage can fight... He chopped the 8 Tails horn off and his tails off, bro. Like, he can damage the 8 Tails, who can tank his own Biju Bomb. Right? He can cut off the horn, the same horn that tanked... you know why you never seen, like, how the 8 Tails has, like, one of his horns cut off? The 4th Raikage did that. He chopped off his horn. So, particle style will do nothing to Kage, right? She'd probably just, use her, like, ash bones and erase it, because her ash bones work similar to the Chidzukin orb, so it actually destroys things even more fundamentally than the particle style does. So, it wouldn't do shit to Kage. Yeah, what do people think Pain is This is crazy what people think Pain can fight the 5 Kage. Holy shit, bro. All of the Kage probably individually solo the Pains. Like, they're all way faster than them. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them are insanely faster than them. They have tons of feats in the war arc. Tons. Right? They're all way stronger than him. React, like, fighting, melting Madara Susanoo and shit. Like, doing all kinds of... Inoki headbutted 2 multi-continental meteors. He headbutted it. Like, he headbutted. He could headbutt a Path of Pain and destroy it. God, dude. Like, this is crazy that this is one of the most disgusting downplays of a video I have ever seen in my life. This is actually gross how badly they are downplaying them. What happens when Gaara just all seals them in one of the sand pyramids? The same sand pyramid that could, like, that they were using to try and seal away Madara? Like, the thing Madara was, like, running away from, which Madara did bust out of it in his Susanoo, but he needed his Susanoo to do it. You know, the same Saiyan jutsu that could, like, seal Shikaku and stuff. Like, this is crazy. Oh my god. I hate this video. This is pissing me off so bad. I'm getting mad.
Oh my god.
I'm, like, sitting here thinking about all the
can't believe
scaling I've done over the years.
this.
Of, like, they're just disrespecting all of them so hard.
Yeah, like, the fact that they said the dog even has
dog,
any
bro.
chance,
Bro.
has any chance of defeating all of them. I just gave multiple examples of, like, how, like, the dog would just get not just, like, beaten up, but, like, completely just done with.
There was
like,
a
he ain't coming back.
No, what happens when he just gets vaporized? When like Inoki just vaporizes the dog? Like, can it split from that? What happens when it gets destroyed at an atomic level? Can it come back from that? I don't fucking think so. It's never shown that.
No.
Yeah, it gets hit by like Rasengans and splits, right? What happens when it gets vaporized? No, it's not coming back. I didn't even think about that.
It's worse than Amaterasu, and he disappeared after Amaterasu.
Yeah. Man,
So
this video is terrible. I hate this
Yeah.
video. So also,
and
like,
it's his most recent video.
Inoki Inoki is on the back of the Raikage at one point during the war arc. He amplifies his speed, like lightweight boulder jutsus him, so he's like going fast as fuck, like the fastest the Raikage we've ever seen, right? And he does that just so he can make him like get more momentum, and then right before he punches like Madara, he will make him heavy. That way he has like more weight behind his speed as well. So he's amplifying his speed, and he's like reacting to an amped V2 Raikage. Inoki can react to the fastest Raikage we've ever seen. He's so fast. He's way faster than the Pains. Pains are like base Naruto level, base and Sage Naruto level. And this is another thing, like, that might seem like weird because we know that Pain fought Sage Naruto, but both Base and Sage Naruto reacted to the Pains, and Pain could react to both Sage and Base Naruto too. So that means the difference between them must just not be that much, right? If he's able to react to both of them, it just isn't that significant. Which I know is hard for a lot of, like, it definitely makes you faster, but I think it makes you faster in the way that, like, your reaction speed is being amped. But, Inoki amped Raikage bodies the Pains.
Dude.
Oh my god.
He would literally...
He would murder blitz all of them.
Like, if you remember, like, the scene from Age of Ultron where Quicksilver just goes on, like, a fucking rampage and, like, just, like, he literally runs through a bunch of, like, the Ultron robots. That's what literally what Inoki amped Raikage would do to all the Pains. That's literally what
Base Raikage would probably, not base, but,
would,
like, version 2 Raikage would probably do that, to be honest.
He would run through them and they would all get, like, dismantled.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure in one video they said Minato is above Pain. Yeah, they said that in the last video they were talking about it. So it's kind of funny to me. Bro, the Raikage is stated to not be inferior to Minato during the war arc. Like, in speed. Like, not even in just power. Like, in speed, he's not inferior to Minato, is what it states. And they think Minato... He's more powerful than Minato, too. He's way more powerful. He's way more durable. He's got Inoki with him. Inoki's with him, literally. And they're saying, like, fucking... Minato could beat Pain, but not Inoki amped Raikage? Like, huh? This video is crazy, bro. To be fair, can't you argue Mei got stronger in the war arc since she has no speed scaling in the summit? Yeah, you potentially can. I mean, she's able to, like, melt Madara Susanoo, and no one talked about that. And no one talked about her, like, running alongside the version 2 Raikage or Tsunade. Like, she has great speed and good attack potency. She doesn't have a lot of crazy hacks. But she does have actual good feats. And that was one of the things that, like, was so weird to me when I first started watching Swag's videos, was how much he hated Mei. Because I remember watching that fight, like, when I was, like, a kid, because that was when this show was coming on, was when I was watching it, when I was a fucking kid. And I remember seeing, like, Mei's, like, acid and lava when they're fighting Madara, and just remember it being so cool that she did that. Swag hates the fact Mei melted Madara Susanoo. He does hate that, doesn't he? Yeah, literally. Isn't Sage mode faster in KCM 1? It's faster in reaction speed, but I wouldn't say it's faster in, like, travel speed or anything. Or even combat speed. I think he's just able to react to stuff better in it. But yeah, even then, that's like War Arc Naruto. So base Naruto from the Pain arc is much different than War Arc fucking Sage Naruto. I don't think Pain speed scaling's that good. Like, Minato literally has a calc that puts him at like 50 times FTL, right? Like, it's my calc. I made the calc. I literally did it. I'm the one who made it, and I could literally show you guys actually the calc. It's on a Google Doc I did. let me blacken my screen real quick. That way I don't expose some of my other scripts that I'm currently writing. But Minato has
You're
a
kind
cow.
of doing that right now.
Ah.
It's not blackened.
Ah! Oh no. Well, it's too late now. It's fine.
It's nothing that you haven't talked about already.
Yeah, nothing I haven't talked about, but it could have been. There's some things in there that I'm not allowed to show yet. Swag the moderate hard can't accept the truth. That's right. Yeah. I calced. Basically, I translated this statement, which says that the Raikage can perform the lariat at the speed of light. Here's the kanji with it that go with it. I posted that. I measured.
Oh, by the way, I was when you
basically
pulled up your shit your Google Doc. I wasn't looking at the stream. I was looking at your stream, so I saw it. So
yeah, I
Okay.
measured the time frame in which it would be required for Minato to dodge, assuming that the Raikage is moving at light speed. This is how much
You
time
want
it
to put
would
on
be
the
to
capture
dodge.
again?
Oh, did I turn it off?
Yeah, it's still
Okay.
off. It's black.
Here we go. So, I took this data book scan. It says, basically, here's the kanji, just to show proof. It says the Raikage can use the lariat while rushing at the speed of light. And then it also said, and then I basically found the time frame at which it took Minato to dodge, assuming the Raikage is moving at the speed of light. That's the time frame. And then I just compared that to a normal human's perception, and it basically is 50 times faster than light. Comes out to about around that. So Minato can react to can react 50 times faster than light, right? And the Raikage during the war arc is stated to not be inferior to him. So, the Raikage is 50 times FTL at that point. I think it's just pretty funny that Pain, who may have light speed stuff, maybe, I don't even know if there's even good light speed stuff for it. These characters are massively, not massively, but they're quite a bit faster than light, 50 times faster than light. There's also Parrot's calc, which is infamous, but the whole 73 times KCM Naruto faster than light calc, stuff like that. There's just tons of stuff that puts these Kage way fast, because all the Kage for the most part are relative in speed. So I think they're all much faster than the Paths of Pain, and I think they all can one-shot each Path of Pain because they're not durable at all. And Pain just barely has any way of dealing with them whatsoever. But let's just finish this video.
Yeah.
Maybe Anoki could vaporize it at best, but how would the others deal with it? Maybe
just summon it again.
Maybe Danzo would have to
maybe you just summon it again.
grab, seal it.
How is he gonna summon it again if it's dead? Does he have more dogs?
He vaporized it.
What's he gonna summon
it again?
What's he summoning? The ash? Is he gonna summon its ash back?
Come on, bro. Come on, 6.
He'll just summon it again. It's dead. How's he gonna summon it?
Or something. Is that the
for it
only
to be
thing?
summoned again?
Okay, here's another argument too.
Stop saying
Did
it.
it again.
Danzo's Kodo Matsukami.
He gets one pain at best, and he dies. Simple.
Yeah. Because we know, actually, for some weird reason, the
He can only do
pains
it on
are
one.
individually affected by Genjutsu.
Well, no. Because remember Shisui with his, he could do it over the entire Uchiha clan, but then for some reason
Shisui's
Danzo
peace
implied
was
it
his
can only
Genjutsu.
do it to one.
Yeah, he only does it on Hanzo instead of doing it on all the Kage. So
And he's also I should save this for Madara, but Sasuke's gonna kill me instead of just doing both of them. So Danzo might just not be able to use it at the same range as Shisui. So even then, and then it's debatable. How does it work on a corpse puppet that's being controlled from afar? It's so.
And again, it would only affect the pain body, not the actual
right, and then does it go up to transceivers and control Nagato?
No, because we know that Genjutsu only affects individual pain bodies. When Jiraiya caught the 3 pains in the frog song, the other pains weren't affected. They were the only
That
ones
is
trapped
really
in
weird
there,
that
and it didn't affect
that
Nagato
happens,
at all.
but it is
So
I
true.
wonder as well if he could just turn off the pain that got hit by it.
Yeah, so we know the pains are constantly getting chakra from Nagato, right? Which is a way to break Genjutsu, right?
Yeah,
And
so
in the anime, when Kodo Masukami's put on Mifune, they break him out of it the same way you break people out of like normal genjutsu.
It's because breaking someone out of Kodo is not hard. It's just noticing Kodo is there is hard. Like that's what's hard. It's more subtle than any of the other genjutsu. It's not hard to break, but it's really subtle. So if you just don't notice it, it'll just be on them for like years, like how it happened with Yagura. Like Yagura was under that shit for like 4 years, or not even. It was just Obito's genjutsu, but it's basically it works the same as Kodo. So
that's why like Kodo is seen as such a fucking powerful jutsu, is that it's a genjutsu that makes you like think that you're not even
you don't even know you're in a genjutsu. It's that real, right? So it's a really potent genjutsu.
You're given a direct order to do something, and you'll think like, okay, I actually thought of that. It wasn't like somebody telling me that.
Yeah, exactly. And also, this is like, I don't know. I'm not gonna go any more into it. I think that's fine.
So there's a possibility that it just might not work at all.
I think people downplay the pain.
Just depends on if they're distracted or not, because they might be able to wake him up, but either way, it's like, Danzo, I don't think I'm going to argue for. I hate Danzo.
Resistance as well.
Danzo dies the pain. I don't care if it's even true.
Because of the frog song. But people don't realize that frog song might be like the strongest jutsu, jutsu that we know of, almost. Like
the other thing.
Yeah, it's stated in the data book that frog song is the strongest like genjutsu. Like maybe like ocular genjutsu might be different, but the strongest genjutsu ever is what it took to take down those 3 pains. And it didn't even affect the main body from what we know. So with the whole Danzo thing, it might be complicated because he can come back to life over and over. But as we said, you might be able to imply that Danzo might just get one-shotted by Shinra Tensei too, just over and over, because it's like...
Well, it should definitely be stronger than like a Susanoo punch, right?
Because...
Huh?
Wait.
What? Who said that? When?
Whack.
A Susanoo punch? When is it?
He really slipped that one in there, like... It might be stronger than a Susanoo punch.
Where? When do we ever even see a Susanoo punch, for one?
Wow.
But for two, why? Why?
I'm actually baffled. Wow. I can't believe
and who's Susanoo as well? That also varies. Like, we talking like, like Itachi's like Susanoo, or like Madara's, right? Like, which Susanoo we talking about? What are they talking about?
Shisui?
Yeah, Shisui's fucking Susanoo? Like, it should be talking about not as strong as a Susanoo punch. What is it? How strong is a Susanoo punch, Surfbone? Tell me.
Oh, yeah, well, it's like, which one?
Any of them. You ever seen a Susanoo punch?
Not that I could recall, no. It's just like a...
They shoot arrows and swing swords. I don't even know what they punch, to be honest. How's Swag saying it's stronger than a punch? You must be talking about like a sword swipe or something, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
KS Sasuke Susanoo they're talking about. In that case, they're right. So we don't see that Sasuke punch, for one. But no, I don't even think they're right, even if that was true.
It's a rib cage. It's a fucking rib cage. That's all it is.
It's not even a Susanoo. He doesn't do anything with it. He doesn't even attack anyone with it. And Swag didn't specify who's Susanoo, so there's no way you can even say it's Kage-sama Sasuke.
Just watch, he explains.
Okay.
Let's see.
Sasuke just one-shotted him over and over. Like, it's not like he was like relative to Sasuke. He was.
I don't think Danzo's durability is particularly good, though.
Tiring Sasuke out after he kept being one-shotted. So it's like, yeah, it's so maybe if
that's
Pain,
not a punch either.
Got a Chibaku Tensei and then he used one of his eyes to get out of it. Like, maybe Pain might be in a rough spot, kind of, but
Inoki would headbutt the Chibaku Tensei. I'm just kidding. But he would. He could do that. He wouldn't give a fuck about that fucking Chibaku Tensei. But he'd probably just vaporize it, to be honest. That's before we get into the Chibaku Tensei. I have a whole debunk about that. But
it'd be funny. Just like in like, say if this happened actually in like the story, right? Inoki headbutts Tendo, and then it just pans over back to Naruto. He's like, "Ow, my forehead hurts."
Bro, Inoki could like run up and headbutt all of the fucking Pains and kill them all. Like, he could just literally fly and headbutt every path of Pain, and they would just die. Like, they would not withstand it. Like,
I still don't get the fucking Susanoo punch. He literally grabbed Danzo and squished
where's
him.
the like where's the scaling between, is it just because he blew up the Leaf Village with a chaotic one, or is it because he like beat up Gamabunta with a normal one? Which of those scale to the Susanoo punch, and why? That again, like Kakashi was like going to die if he got hit by one of Sasuke's arrows, but he could tank a Shinra Tensei.
Does he punch him? I'm gonna look this up.
He punched him. I mean, he might have punched Danzo, but why is the Shinra Tensei scale to it? Yeah, send me the scans, Nate, because I'm about to bust out the big boy here in a second.
Let's see.
It's okay. We don't have to find it. Either way, it just doesn't make sense.
I'm looking for it though.
Okay.
What do you guys think about the 5 Kage versus Chibaku Tensei? Let's hear that one.
A tries to punch it and gets sucked up.
Yeah. We were talking about that. Like, A is gonna fly into it like Saitama versus the meteor, and just like trying to.
That's what Inoki does.
He's gonna get sealed.
Inoki would literally do that.
Inoki literally did that to the meteors. Like, he actually did that. I don't know why the Raikage can't even fly, but Inoki would do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Then Inoki's the next one to go because of his back problems.
He might
Why would Inoki
be able to
Maze is
vaporize
already
it
dead.
with
Oh.
particle style. That's my
He is
only
already
thing.
dead. She got one shot by Shinra.
Yeah, Swag. I'm glad that Swag actually brought that up. He could just erase it with particle style.
Tensei, like
What's up?
Okay, so I found something. So you know when Madara makes those like tons of like
Susanoo clones?
clone, yeah. Mei literally gets punched by that.
And tanks it.
It looks like she tanks it. I'm sending it to you in DMs.
That's funny. Swag's not gonna like that one. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, it's like that's something.
When
I'm
the
just
May
looking
video
for.
comes out, fucking.
When the May video comes
yeah,
out,
we'll talk about it. But Gara video win. The disrespect is real. They were just shitting on Gara in the beginning. I was like, yeah, Gator is stronger than Gara. I'm like, no, he's not. Like, that's not what happened.
like. I don't know.
She can't help because she's already dead. You're right.
Also, there's the argument that Gara might get one shot too because Shinra Tensei like negates his like defenses.
This is so stupid. I'm not gonna stop him.
Yeah.
I already
Can't
shit on
believe
that
it.
argument.
So Gara's dead too. So yeah.
So it's just the Raikage, Onoki, and Mei
And-
trying to.
No, Danzo.
Not Mei, Danzo. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Like trying to stop it and like.
What
Man,
happens
I
if
don't
Inoki
even
just
like. Would Danzo
vaporizes
even
it?
like help them? Would he be like,
Okay.
good?
I'm gonna show you guys the big debunk to the Chibaku Tensei being an effective wing
The other
condition.
leaders
we're doing this.
Yeah, we're doing this. I'm gonna show you guys the crazy debunk that no one talks about when talking about the Chibaku Tensei. That just no one, for some reason, remembers happened. I'm getting all the scans pulled up right now. All right.
No one is ready for this.
So, Pain starts summoning the Chibaku Tensei, right? He starts pulling it up, Six Tails Naruto. He starts bleeding from his nose and going crazy, right? It's really hard for him to fucking do this. He makes it, right? He makes it. It's so big, he's completely drained. He's, like, nearly dead summoning this thing, right? Naruto goes through his whole, like, mental battle or whatever, and he comes out after Minato, like, saves him from, like, succumbing to the Nine Tails. He comes out, Pain, like, starts folding over, and the Chibaku Tensei falls apart. He can't hold it up. And this is before he even knew Sage Naruto got out of it.
Yeah.
He can't hold it up. He can only hold it up for a minute. He can't hold... Naruto,
Literally.
It destroyed itself. He couldn't hold it up. He couldn't hold the Chibaku Tensei. It's almost like it's too much of a struggle on his body for him to try and do it. Look at this man!
Yeah.
Look at him! He nearly died doing that, and he can't
The
hold it
guy is
up.
coughing up blood.
Yeah.
He is like falling over.
He can't even hold it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna.
Safe to say.
And you know what happens after this? Sage Naruto starts blitzing the pads of Pains and whooping their ass because Pain is so weakened. Summoning the Chibaku Tensei is a detriment to Nagato. It doesn't help him. So, this Chibaku Tensei doesn't work. Like, they might suck them up for a second, and then it just falls apart, and then they're back. Like, Swag's
my
brain won't be
lord.
able to accept the fact that May can tank a Susanoo hit. Yeah, I guess he won't be able to. But, wasn't he fatigued from fighting the whole village and everyone? It states mid-fight that he got his power back.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And yeah, Pain is dying. The reason Pain is dying is because of the Chibaku Tensei, though. That's when he gets the nosebleed and stuff. It's literally when it starts to happen. It's too much fucking energy for him to expend.
Yeah. And it's like, this is not something he would use right off the bat either. So it's like, if he ends up using this as a last resort, he gets fucked up and he can't hold up for that long.
Yeah,
It's like, there's no... It's like, even if we give him the benefit of the doubt and says he can hold up for 10 minutes, it's like, okay, after that 10 minutes, it crumples to the ground and anyone who just got sucked up by it is fine.
Yep.
It's not... It's worse than Gaara's ceiling. It's worse than Garo's ceiling. Like, Gaara's ceiling is not, like, a super huge detriment on his chakra. But for Nagato, the only quote-unquote ceiling he has is garbage.
Yeah. It's crazy to me. All the feats of Naruto one-shotting the pads of Pain is before Pain says he got his full power back. No, it's not. Oh, yeah, you're right about that, but him one-shotting a path of Pain doesn't make Nagato weaker. Because they're not his bodies. The thing that makes Nagato weaker is him expending his energy. Yeah, he was coughing and stuff before that, but even then, like, he would be coughing, fighting the... this is just Sage Naruto. Like, he's gonna be fighting 5 Kage. He's gonna be straining himself way more in this fight than he would be against Sage Naruto. So yeah, sure, he got... Let's just say he did progressively get weaker throughout the Sage Naruto fight. You think that's gonna be different with the 5 Kage? Like, it's gonna be worse with the 5 Kage. He's gonna be even weaker. He's gonna be having to fight way more stronger characters than Sage Naruto.
Yeah,
So-
it's like,
He's gonna be
Like,
weak when he creates this too. So either way, like, it's not like
That's
Naruto
like
ever comes out with the Chibaku Tensei character because it is a detriment to them.
yeah, it's like, the only way this would be a WidCon if this was, like, Edo Nagato.
Yeah,
Like,
So-
this is the only way it'd actually be something. And it's like,
that's because
If
Edo
you're gonna,
Nagato
like-
actually has the the chalk because he's an Edo, so he has infinite chakra, right? He can just keep holding it up, but
yeah.
not
but,
when,
like,
not with this.
yeah, but, like, also, like, I see that Hatch guy trying to say, like, well, Nagato is weakened. It's like, okay, if you're gonna try to make that as, like, such a huge debunk to the argument, it's like, okay, then how long can he hold it up for if he's not weakened?
Yeah, no,
Like,
he's gonna
and I
be
even
weakened
said-
either way. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, just using the Chibaku Tensei in general makes him weaker, right? And like, he's gonna be fighting the Leaf Village, right? Or he's gonna be fighting the Kage. He already fought the Leaf Village. He's gonna be fighting the Kage. So yeah, he's gonna be weak in this fight too. It doesn't change anything. Like, they're saying he's gonna use these Shinra Tenseis on them, right? Well, that's what he did in the fight with fucking Naruto. So yeah, I don't think this is like some super good win con, right? Like, this is like pretty obvious that this ability is just not gonna like
Also,
hold.
they're acting like, basically in terms like the narrative that, so they say that he beats Sage Naruto and then he goes to the Kage summit. So this would be probably even a worse off Nagato as well. So he probably wouldn't even have enough to like replenish and do the Shinra Tensei at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. That's why I said, like, I don't even think like Nagato would even risk like even having like the Paths of Pain be completely vaporized, like the Yahiko corpse be like destroyed on like an atomic level and never be brought back again. Like, not
Also,
like
the
it's not like
Chibaku
the
Tensei just
King of
gets
Hell is gonna
vaporized
bring
by
him back.
Inoki. It literally just gets vaporized by Inoki. So, yeah. Hey, say Kakuzu whoops Pain in the mic for me, would you? Come on, just say it.
I am.
Just go ahead and say it.
Kakuzu whoops Pain.
Say it closer. They can't
I
hear
don't
you.
want to say it out loud.
Okay, fine. It's okay.
I'm on bed.
Okay. Good night. All right. Anyway. Ooh. Oh, let's finish this video.
They're getting sealed, like in
Yeah,
character.
maybe in character, you'd be okay with letting him die first.
He'd
Yeah,
probably
like-
try to like negotiate with Pain and just die.
Yeah, he's like, now I see your, like that.
Maybe we're not giving the Kage enough credit. Like, maybe they
Yeah.
can use some crazy teamwork strategy. But the problem is that Pain really does have good crowd control. Like, we've
Yeah.
seen him fight probably like 20,000 people and like destroy them all at once, basically.
Well, they also have like no like, I guess synergy feats is what you would call it at the Five Kage Summit. Like they all hate each other.
They were able to like, okay, so they were able.
Did they not see them fight the Madara? They didn't see their teamwork with Madara? Those motherfuckers were combining jutsu like a bitch. Like, they were doing crazy stuff. Like, Anoki jumping on fucking Raikage's back, Tsunade and the Raikage combo punching Mu and Madara. Like, they were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Mei was using, like, her acid and stuff with Gaara's sand. Like, there was all kinds of crazy stuff that they could have done.
Like also, this isn't just the Five Kage, it's everyone there at the summit, and then you have fucking motherfuckers like Darui there, and all like the aides for fucking Inoki and shit.
Hold on, sir.
It's
I
like,
can't hear you. I'm being defeated by my chair right now.
Oh shit.
My cord got tangled in my fucking computer chair.
Mm-hmm.
Noodles scales below computer chair. Caught on live cam. Oh, okay, I got it untangled.
Alright, can you hear me?
Okay. Anyway. Can you hear me, Surfbone?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I've always been able to hear you. It's just, I was saying, like, this isn't just like the Five Kage versus the Paths of Pain. This is everyone there that's at the Kage Summit. So you have like the samurai who are there. Yeah. And then you have like fucking Darui, the aides of like Inoki and shit. It's like,
man, Darui versus the Pains might actually be a fight. I think Darui might solo them. He fought base Kikaku and Gigaku. It just depends on how strong they were, but yeah, it's pretty nasty. Darui might. Who else is there?
I swear to God, every time this one guy says that they address it, it's like it's a terrible reputation to like the questions that we would pose to them.
There, I guess. No, wait.
Suigetsu.
That's with Sasuke. Does Pain get Suigetsu?
Right.
does Pain get like Suigetsu and Kari and Jugo? Like, does he get them? Like, we already saw what happens. Darui stalemate Suigetsu. Raikage one-shot Shugo. And then Karin just doesn't do anything. So, yeah. Alright, let's finish
like,
this.
I don't see...
Huh?
I was just gonna say, I just don't see, like, a narrative reason for why Pain would even want to go there.
No, he would not want to go there. They would.
That's
they
what I
would
was saying.
murk
I don't
him.
know. I don't know any reason why he would want to go there. It's like literally the only times we ever see him leave the Rain Village was to go capture Jinchuriki.
The only reason Sasuke survived was because Obito. Like, literally.
Or
Sasuke
to recruit people
murdered.
for... Yeah, and to recruit people for the Akatsuki. Those are like the only times he's ever left the Rain Village. It's like, otherwise he's always protecting it. So I just don't see a reason why he would even go to this Five Kage Summit and why this is like something that like, oh, this is something that could happen. It's like, no, I don't think there's anything to say that this even makes narrative sense.
Swag and Cheth need to stop underestimating Mei. They really do. Like, Mei melted Sasuke's Susanoo during that fight, too. You know, the thing that the Raikage, he is the Raikage, but the Raikage Liger bombed Sasuke's ribcage. Didn't do shit to it, right? He Liger bombed it and didn't do shit with it. He chopped it later and cracked it. Mei just melted his Susanoo. Like, she just, like, spit on it, and it started melting immediately. Like, Mei's acid is stronger than the Raikage's Liger bomb, literally. Like, they just disrespect Mei. They disrespect Gaara. Like, I don't know. These people just didn't look into them, I guess. But anyway,
corner Madara for a bit, and he had to use perfect Susanoo, but it was
no,
like...
I'm talking about at the summit, because they all hated each other.
For a bit, and he had to use perfect...
Hold on.
I guess synergy feats is what you would call it at the Five Kage Summit. Like, they all hate each other.
They were able to, like... Okay, so they were able to, like...
Is Swag trying to say, like, they're different at the Five Kage Summit? I mean, I guess they are.
Like,
but
I don't think they hate each other. I definitely think
they're
that,
just
like...
they're just trying to figure out, like, a solution.
Yeah. Well, they're just like... Well, yeah, they're like...
Anoki's definitely hating on them. Anoki hates those motherfuckers, but that's just because he's an evil old man. So it's not because he's actually, like...
you talking about Inoki?
Yeah, Inoki hates them, but that's just because he's old.
Well, yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, like, I don't think it's like, well, Gaara definitely wanted to get to terms. Danzo didn't wanted to like just flex on them, be like the Leaf Village is like the best Leaf like village out there. Y'all are fodder and shit. May is just like, again, I think she was trying to resolve shit peacefully as well. But
Remember
I think
when
like
Danzo cut a V3 Susanoo? Did Danzo do that? Did Danzo? I never read Danzo. I hate that motherfucker. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot stand Danzo. I haven't read that fucking fight with Sasuke in so long.
What
If
did
that
he say?
happened, he said Danzo cut the V3 Susanoo when Raikage's Liger Bomb couldn't like damage the rib cage even. If that's true, Danzo might just one-shot the Pads of Pains too. So I mean, whatever. There's just none of the Pads of Pain have durability. Oh my god. He shot a vacuum style on his back. Yeah, I guess Danzo's just nasty. But yeah, like all of these guys can just one-shot the Pads of Pains. Looks like they did Danzo justice if you hate him so much. Yeah, so they did do Danzo justice.
So say like because I just looked back at this one instance. It was like Obito and Sasuke were reflecting about the whole fight with Danzo when he was just doing like that that sealing jutsu, and it's like the jutsu was set to activate his dying moment. So say Pain was able to hit Danzo to the point where he's like critically on like his deathbed, would they be? I think they would just all get fucked by the ceiling.
Yeah, probably
all of them. Like the fact that like Obito was like, dude, Sasuke, get out of here. We need to leave now. That like,
yeah, literally.
The fact, like, I don't even. It's like, dude, like, yeah, fucking Obito, the one who has fucking Kamui, he can transport himself into another dimension.
The guy who can transport out of dimensions is afraid of whose ceiling is this?
This is Danzo's.
What the heck? Like, wait a minute, that's crazy. Obito was like, man, don't get touched by that. You'll get sealed. Like,
literally, he was like at the. Here, I just remember specifically, he was like,
does Danzo solo Pain?
Get out of there.
Is that what happens? Does Danzo seal the Pads of Pain? No.
Oh my god.
He might.
Like, if he tries to kill them, yeah, he might. And it said it's right there that it's like it would activate when he's like near death. So.
Pain doesn't even have any way of coming back from something like that. Like, at least Obito has Kamui, right? But Pain doesn't have any way of getting back from that.
Yeah.
Danzo. Man, no, Danzo loses to Pain. I don't care. We'll say that. Maybe he doesn't, but we'll see. Let's finish this video. We only got a few minutes
for
left.
a bit, and he had to use Perfect Susanoo, but it was
no.
like...
I'm talking about at the summit because they all hated each other there.
We don't even know if Obito used Kamui. Probably just Blitz Particle Style. He literally says Kamui in the scan. It swirls up and saves Sasuke. It's literally what happened.
Yeah, he's like totally okay with going in and out, like putting himself inside Particle Style and then coming out. But then the idea of Obito, like, no, it was Danzo doing this sealing jutsu. He's like, get the fuck out of here, Sasuke.
Yeah.
Want to work together.
Here it is.
It was...
Oh, you gonna send it to me?
Yeah, I just found it. He literally says, Sasuke, get away from Danzo.
Oh shit, this is... Oh my god, he's freaking out.
He's like, get away.
Damn. He's shook about this.
Yeah.
What the heck? If Pain kills Danzo, he might lose. He might lose. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bro.
Alright, let's finish this.
Was like, even then with Moderate, the only reason he got tagged is because he like kind of let them. He just wasn't even. Yeah.
That's assuming Danzo stays at the Kage summit though, because he might just run.
So, like,
And so, but you have a good point. Like, they weren't even like trying to really work together. Because if the premise is, what if Pain was in Sasuke's position? Is Inoki just chilling with Danzo in the Kage room, like, and then while the Raikage gets solo stomped? Like,
Yeah, he
how does
might
that
actually
work?
go through all of them one at a time. Yeah.
because the Raikage is like the most like battle hungry out of all of them, so he tries to get Pain first and just dies, and then it's even easier. For him.
Why does Raikage lose to Pain? He's so much faster and stronger than them. He just like whoops them. Like he one shot.
And these
Konohama's with
mother.
Sangon could one shot them, bro.
I don't want to assume anything, but it's just like these motherfuckers are just so wanting to say that Pain is above Kakuzu that they're willing to make a video where they just say Pain takes on the entire Kage summit and just bullies all of them.
You know, there used to be you're completely right, by the way. That is why this video is made. And it happened to be Swag 6 and Seth. But whatever, I'm not going to get into the conspiracy of it. There used to be this debate topic that is still widely popular, and it's the Akatsuki versus the Kage, right? Like, the entire Akatsuki versus the Kage. Like, that was seen as a good fight, right? And it is a good fight, because they're all pretty similar in level, including Pain. So, it's crazy to me that these people think that, like, just Pain could, like, beat the Raikage, despite having way inferior speed, despite being way less in durability, and just not being able to compete with really any of them hacks or physicality. Like, seriously, like, they have a more wider variety of hacks, too. And as soon as Inoki comes out, he dies, by the way. Inoki's the strongest Kage. Like, straight up. He vaporizes all of them, and they just don't do shit about it. So, Akatsuki slaps the Kage. I think the Akatsuki wins because of Obito, but no one else. I think otherwise the Kage could potentially win. Kusame's pretty nasty, too, and Zetsu might. It's not even might. Zetsu would solo them, but if we're not including Zetsu in the Akatsuki, then the Kage have a shot, I guess.
These motherfuckers in chat are like, Pain.
I think they may take the leader of the Akatsuki a bit more seriously, but I wonder if Zetsu would have like snitched on Pain like he did Sasuke.
Yeah, that's true. Like they realized it's not. Oh, it's Sasuke, like some random like Uchiha from the Leaf Village, that's like a rogue ninja, or the Akatsuki. The entire reason they're having the summit there, like the leader of the Akatsuki pulls up. You know, like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna, like, be a little bit more frantic than just some random rogue ninja, right? The reason they're having this summit is because the Akatsuki and the leader pulls up to it. Yeah, they're all gonna be fighting. Guaranteed.
I don't think he would.
Probably not.
Because with Sasuke, they were trying to amp him, but with
he may actually, like, come in and, like, whisper to the Raikage, hey, Pain's here, and then he'd be like, what? And he'd, like, go out there by himself, and then, like, the other Kage would be, like, really confused.
Yeah, because
what the fuck?
the Raikage hates the Akatsuki in general, right?
He just hates everything.
So, yeah,
He's
he
just
might
mean.
just, like, rush
He's
at
mean.
Pain and just die really quickly. So, Pain takes out the entire Leaf Village. We've gone over that, right? The Leaf Village is 1/5 of the Shinobi Alliance. And what people don't know is that the Shinobi Alliance was actually formed specifically to counter the Biju, right? They're like, our best chance against the Biju that Madara has is to just form a Shinobi Alliance, right? So, Pain beating 1/5 of them easily, like, the easiest of anything we've ever seen Pain do, should just imply that Pain would, like, stomp them out. Because the Shinobi Alliance includes the Kage, right? Like, Gara was out there.
Yeah.
Is Six trying to say that the Pain would take on the entire Shinobi Alliance?
That is what he's implying.
Oh my god.
Well, no, he's just saying 1/5 of them. He's
God.
trying to say that, like, he's like beating 1/5 of the Shinobi Alliance, or like the strongest portion of the Shinobi Alliance, right? But he didn't beat the strongest portion of the Shinobi Alliance. The Kage are the strongest portion of the Shinobi Alliance. If you line up the entire Shinobi Alliance and you like make them fight the Kage win. So just beating up all the non-Kage is not impressive. Like, he beat Tsunade, I guess, but Tsunade, like Gaara, was using all of her chakra to protect the village. So even then, like, he hasn't beaten any of the Kage. So yeah, you can beat up all these, because who did he beat, really? Like, he beat Kakashi. That was a good feat, right? He beat up, like, where he's, like, relative to base Naruto. That's good. He beat, like, Choza. Okay, who else did he beat in there? Right, he beat up, like, a bunch of, like, random civilians. Like, is that impressive to you? Like, all these random ninja that aren't even impressive? Like, that's not a good argument. He didn't fight the Kage, who are the most powerful part of the Alliance.
Overall,
and by the way,
I think we could wrap it up
go
there.
ahead.
Overall, he just has that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, well, because people just hate on Danzo. It's like, but I think it's like you're supposed to hate Danzo.
He's an amazing character.
That way.
Yeah.
He's an amazing character.
He's actually
and you're
really
supposed
good
to hate him.
character-wise. His purpose
like,
and, like, the way he's written is perfect. Like, he plays like an Orochimaru kind of character that's just perfect. Like the way they wrote him as a
Yeah.
villain was awesome. But I hate him still because they wrote him well. So anyway,
The hacks. He just has.
You love to hate him.
the third Raikage fought 10,000 ninja, and the fourth Raikage is relative. I don't think the fourth Raikage is relative. I actually think the fourth Raikage is stronger. But yeah, just one Kage fought 10,000 ninja. Like Pain beating up a bunch of random ninjas, not impressive.
We didn't even talk about Soul Steel yet. Yeah.
Soul Steel
He
is
just
good.
runs up and pulls out their souls. Like, what do they do?
They blitz them, and that just doesn't.
Yeah,
like in the same way that they can run up and pull someone's soul out, the Raikage could just fucking punch him and he'll die too, and he can
Well,
punch
we
a lot
just
quicker
said,
than he
like-
can pull out his soul.
We already said like the fourth Raikage would literally just run through all of them and completely they would come apart. Like they would not even have the chance to even do.
I know
Soul
he just
Steel.
vaporizes them from range. Like this is a stupid argument. Like this,
And while that one is like stealing the soul of like say somebody there, like say he just like is able to like get one of Anoki's goons and like is starting to soul steal them, they would just immediately Anoki would just vaporize all of them.
you need to be stronger than someone for Soul Steel to work. That is true, actually, and all of them are basically stronger than Pain as well. That's why like Naruto was able to like pull his own soul back into his body, right? Soul Steel is just
Right.
not an immediate win con. Like the Raikage is way physically stronger than Pain. So
The Soul Steel, like, oh, here's something interesting. Could Danzo use his eyes if his soul got grabbed,
I don't think so.
or would it negate his ability to
So
use
if
it?
these were like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I was like reading their effects, and I was like a judge at like a tournament, I would like rule against Danzo being able to use Izanagi in response to the Soul Steel based on how it seems to work.
It does seem weird. It
why?
Implying Pain is even fast
Yeah.
enough to do all of them.
I feel like Swag just said some random shit, to be honest. If I was at a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, I would rule that he wouldn't be able to do that. And then just didn't explain why.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swag, for your input.
convoluted. I can see that for sure.
I think Seth is the better of the power scalers between Swag and himself, by the way. I think Seth is better. That's not just because I'm hating on Swag. I also hate Seth, so I actually hate Seth more than I hate Swag, but he is better than Swag at power scaling. I think 6 is better than Swag at power scaling, too. I think Swag is kind of the odd man out here. I think Swag makes more entertaining content than anything, but, yeah.
Like, yeah, Seth has like these two motherfuckers that just are just saying the most bizarre shit on his channel, and that's like we're just like mainly getting harped on, and then Seth is just sitting in the background like, I believe that too, and it's just like you're just like, what is going on, bro? Like, why? Did you not even like talk to these guys beforehand about what you might talk about, or
It was
like,
weird to me.
wow.
Like, Seth just, like, the way Seth used to scale Hiruzen and stuff like that, the way Seth used to scale, like, the Raikage and all that, like, the third Raikage, you just go watch any of his, like, Kage ranking videos or, like, anything like that, the Hiruzen video, that stuff, like, the way he scaled them before was completely different to how he scales them here, and it's just, like, it's almost like he's regressed. Like, he's actually gone through, like, de-evolution. I don't know, like...
I didn't want to say that, but like that's what I'm getting at is like now he's left with these two as like his best main guys for Naruto, and like both of them like got you soloed both of them at the same time practically.
Yeah, but...
And it's like I honestly don't get it. I don't get his mindset.
Yeah. Alright, let's finish this.
But
Yeah, like maybe, but then Pain just does it again.
yeah, so all in all, like I just think the statements like Sage mode is probably faster than KCM. Like you can debate about that, but I think it's
I don't think
probably
they're the
implied.
same.
I
bro.
think it is.
Yeah.
Go back to the beginning of the stream where I debunked the whole, like, War Arc thing. Like, the difference between Pain Arc Kakashi and War Arc Kakashi is vast. He can use, like, Kamui, like, twice during the Pain Arc, but during the War Arc, he can, like, spam it. He can fight for, like, days on end for, like, all the 7 ninja swordsmen at once. He can, like, react to Casey and Minato and stuff. That's the time gap between there, right? It's not a big time gap, but there's a severe power difference between them. And that's the same time in which Naruto fought Pain, and the same time he's fighting during the War Arc, right? So there's plenty of time for Naruto to get better between there. He fought multiple people between there, which there's a direct statement that fighting people is better than any form of training from B. So he's technically training just doing that, so he's probably getting stronger from that. He did KCM training between there. There's tons of stuff for like Naruto to be stronger and faster. So no, I don't think you can just scale Sage Naruto from the Pain arc to Sage Naruto during the War arc after fighting a multitude of people and doing training. So
Naruto is considered stronger than Sasuke by a ton, and they thought that Sasuke could do well at the Kage Summit, even being weaker than Naruto, who got absolutely ragdolled by fatigued pain.
Yeah.
I think, and then obviously there's the Sannin scaling. The Raikage is somewhat of a rival for Tsunade, give or take. He's probably a little bit stronger, and then all the Sannin are kind of relative, so it's kind of weird for him to not scale to them. And then all of these hacks that easily kind of deal with all of them. Said maybe Danzo. Danzo's kind of complicated.
Easily deal with all of them.
By the way, did he just say that Raikage was stronger than Tsunade? Even though we have a direct statement from Madara saying that the opposite was true.
Yeah, Tsunade's not here though. She's not at the Kage Summit, but yeah.
I know. I'm just saying,
stronger.
it's the fact that Seth said that.
Hold on, let me see this. He didn't say that, did he?
He did.
Absolutely ragdolled by fatigued pain.
Yeah.
I think, and then obviously there's the Sannin scaling. The Raikage is somewhat of a rival for Tsunade, give or take. He's probably a little bit stronger, but...
Huh?
Bro.
Tsunade, in this scene that they're showing, Tsunade wins. Tsunade beats him in this arm wrestle. Like that's what happened. Tsunade wins this encounter. Wait, no, hold on. She was beating him with strength, and then the Raikage uses his speed to beat her. So no, she is more powerful and stronger than the Raikage. The Raikage is just faster. I remember this.
You have fucking Madara of all people saying that, like, it's like the Raikage may be faster, but Tsunade is definitely the strongest among them.
Tsunade is physically stronger than the Raikage, but in the fight she gets clapped by the Raikage. I don't know, they're just basically like the same fighter. They're both like relative in speed and power. So they're just like, and Tsunade has like a healing factor. So I would actually prefer Tsunade in that fight just because she has Katsuyu and she has a healing factor that the Raikage doesn't have. So I think she would actually probably beat the Raikage. But
that would be an interesting fight if they like actually brawled out.
Yeah.
And like that would have been a cool fight to watch.
I don't know. Maybe the Raikage's got some weird lightning style stuff that would work.
They said this is filler.
Yeah, this is filler. Yeah, I know this is filler. But this literally was a scene meant to represent Tsunade being stronger and the Raikage being faster. And this is backed up by Madara's statement later in the war arc, so.
And then all the Sannin are kind of relative, so it's kind of weird for, him to not scale to them.
Okay, all the Sannin are relative. There was a statement in part 1 in the first data book or whatever.
Yeah.
That the Sannin were relative to each other. Okay. I don't know if they realize this, but people get stronger over time. And this is from part 1 to the war arc. Or to the Kage Summit. So just because they're relative 4 years ago, or whatever it was, the gap between here, the Kage Summit and part 1, right? Just because they're relative then does not mean they're relative now. Okay? That's a stupid argument. Especially considering Tsunade just has, like, a way better speed feat than Jiraiya does, right? Like, way better. She's able to fight alongside the Raikage. Jiraiya is not anywhere near that fast, okay? So no. Jiraiya's, like, the weakest of them, to be honest. But Orochimaru is also pretty nasty with, like, some of his feats in the war arc.
I was just gonna say that, when they were talking about, like, I'm trying to remember who they were talking about. Yeah, it was like when Hiruzen was talking with Anko about Orochimaru and like Minato, I think, and he was just like, it's like that same Orochimaru is not going to be the same as the one from 6 years ago. This is the one that like left, trained for 6 years, and is like, I'm going to try to obtain all the knowledge and shit. It's like, and try to attain all jutsu and try to become like the best ninja ever.
There's also another thing, like this guy actually made a funny comment. The Sannin are relative, then how did Orochimaru solo them with no arms? Yeah. But not only that, they might not even be relative in part 1, but also like near dead, like armless, sick Orochimaru like fought Four Tails Naruto. There's two things that Jiraiya said nearly killed him in his life. There's only been two things that brought him to brink of death. One was Tsunade. Tsunade nearly killed him by breaking his rib cage and like fracturing multiple bones in his body just because he was peeking at her in a hot spring. So Tsunade can kill Jiraiya for one. Jiraiya is not durable enough to tank Tsunade's attacks. Okay.
So
the other thing was Four Tails Naruto. Okay, you hold on one second. The other thing was Four Tails Naruto. The same Four Tails Naruto, or actually a stronger Four Tails Naruto than the one Jiraiya fought, Orochimaru fought with no arms and sick, and took a Biju Bomb from him, the strongest attack. So yeah, I'd say Jiraiya is probably the weakest of the Sannin.
Yeah.
And
what I was gonna say is I send it to you in DMs, by the way. Like this same yeah, because they were talking about Hiruzen facing off against Orochimaru, and then Anko's like, I wish if only like the fourth Hokage was still alive. And then he was just like, do not say such things. He sacrificed his life for the village. And that he's like, that was 13 years ago. It's like, yeah, Orochimaru is not the same person he was 13 years ago.
Definitely not.
Like, he is far stronger than he was back then.
Because
So
especially someone like
definitely a
Orochimaru
much
who's
different fight.
constantly trying to learn stuff. Like, he's always doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, I don't like this. I know Jiraiya was drugged during that fight. That's why I just thought it was funny. But either way, like, yeah, them being relative back then does not mean they're relative now.
kind of relatives. So it's kind of weird for, you know, him to not scale to them. And then all of these hacks that easily kind of deal with all of them. Said maybe Danzo. Danzo's kind of complicated. But other than that, I
If they
just think
kill
it's
Danzo,
just
Danzo might just seal them. But
it is pretty cut and dry. But I'd love to hear your guys' arguments. Maybe you guys think, you know, the Kage do win. Maybe there's some good teamwork, though. Maybe you think the Pains are only good against 6v1s, even though they fought the whole Leaf Village. So if you guys do think that, comment down below. This video is just mainly just for fun. We're just spitballing some ideas, you know, hypothetical, throw Pain into the Kage Summit, which he was never in. So don't take it too seriously, but I thought this was a fun video. Be sure to subscribe to Six. Subscribe to Six.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Six.
Do it.
He's a smart and cool dude, so be sure to check him out. And
Don't
other than that,
subscribe to
guys, thank
Fuck
you all,
Six.
you two, for coming.
kidding,
And
you do
until next time.
Absolutely. Bye.
that video was terrible.
That was
that was horrific.
I have to say that was probably, like, I'm not gonna
Worst
lie,
Seth
that's
video
probably
I've ever seen.
Seth video I've ever seen. Like on it, like I'm. He usually says like a lot of his old videos were bad. This is just like, like I thought I had to like, oh my god, the fact that like it's just like if you've been like around as long as like both me and Noodles have. Definitely Noodles been a lot longer, known Seth for a lot longer. He was like the fact that we're listening to him, like even having these two on and like repeating these arguments and then him just agreeing with it. It's like, this is just like terrible.
Yep.
But like, like I can't believe like there's a lot of the arguments that he's saying in here that's just like that easily me and like Noodles are just like, what? Like how? It's like it's not anything that like we're trying to like. I feel like any fan that like read through the manga can easily find out that like some of these things are just really weird. That like they're saying.
Yeah.
And it's like that's easily disproven. Like,
this seems like just some like random normie like, oh, Pain beat Naruto. He's strong. He blew up Leaf Village. He beats Kage. Like, and just not accounting for the rest of the scaling in the series. Like, all the War Arc stuff. Like, there's a reason people say there's a power cliff between the War Arc and everything else. And that's because there is a major power cliff. You notice how all of the best feats come in the War Arc? You think that's just a coincidence? Like, yeah, there's a major power cliff during the War Arc. A massive power cliff.
When we all thought that, like, Haku and, like, and Zabuza were just, like trash first arc villains, and then they get revived in the War Arc, and they're still able to combat with fucking War Arc like Kakashi and
Zabuza
shit.
isn't, but Haku is. But that's just because Haku was holding back during their fight with them. Haku's actually just disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Kakashi just like mega blitzed Zabuza. By the way, he fucked Zabuza up during that fight. He fought all of the ninja swordsmen.
Man. it's just like
to be honest,
such
I don't
a-
imagine anyone reading the series and thinking that the Kage are only as strong as Naruto from the Pain arc. No one thought that. When people saw the Kage on screen, they were like, "Oh shit! Like they're fighting Madara." Like, did anyone think that? Did anyone think like, yeah, Pain could do that to Madara? No, no one thought that. No one at all.
By the way, I'm pretty sure Nate has this because I remember he literally showed me. But it's like, you remember the particular page where Saitama Naruto literally blitzes the fuck out of Tendo Pain?
Yep. That's
Oh
after
my
he summons
God.
the Chibaku Tensei, though.
Okay, but still, that's like
Still funny.
it's still a funny.
The Pain disrespect is strong. He's got good feats, but not war feats. Yeah, exactly, right? I understand the Pain, we're disrespecting Pain right now, but it's because they're comparing them to war arc characters.
Yeah, and
So,
saying that like
yeah,
he can
they're
take on
saying
the
that they would
five
like solo
Kage.
war arc characters, and it's just not how it is. Like, it's just...
To be honest, I think this video is only to try to convince the normies that like Pain is just so above Kakuzu that he would take on the entire five Kage summit and just be fine, and that none of them would be able to deal with the hacks that he has.
I just found a funny comment. Going by power cliffing logic, Sakura fighting alongside Casey and Naruto would mean Sakura is greater than Pain. Sakura would blitz and one-shot every single path of Pain horrifically. And you know what's funny that you say that? Let me get on Swag Kage's Twitter real quick. Let's take a peek at Swag Kage's Twitter. Let's go to tweets and replies. Where is it? Here. Sakura versus Madara. Let's see what's... Hold on. Well, let me find it. There's just a panel of Swag Kage saying that, like, Madara would probably... Or Sakura would probably just punch Madara Susanoo and it would die. Like, that's literally what Swag says.
Yeah. Although he says it right there that Six didn't put up to it. It's just really I just find it coincidental that the time when, like, say you disassociated with like the SS, right? And then this whole shit happens, and now like Death like is now like introduced Swag to like Six and Jaja and all of them. And it's like, and most likely Spencer, and now he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make a Sakura versus Madara video and say that Sakura absolutely shit stomps.
Yeah.
It just seems very coincidental.
Hold on one second, Surfbone, before you derail into that.
Well, I was just saying that.
Going by power cliffing logic, Sakura was greater than Casey and Naruto, or was greater than Pain. Look what Swag's saying, bro. Like, you talking like he uses power cliffing logic. Everyone does, because you know what all a power cliff means is just like when characters get significantly stronger, right? Swag recognizes that there's a power cliff. Even though he says he doesn't in this video, he recognizes it here. So, kind of funny that he's willing to say that now. But, yeah, I think Sakura definitely bodies. Alright, Surf Man. You have any final comments about the video, or?
About the video?
Yeah.
Except what I've already said already, that I think this is probably Seth's worst video that I've seen him produce as of recently. It's just like very telling of where it's just like, this is what he's been like, now he has to deal with this. Oh yeah, that's like something that like, didn't you and him just like used to reminisce about how strong fucking Inoki was, and that's like something he even like, he was just going off about Inoki in his like Kage video about how strong that motherfucker is.
He doesn't even talk about Inoki, bro. Like,
that's he doesn't. He only talks about Inoki and particle style. He doesn't even talk about his feats in the war. They don't talk about any of their feats in the war arc. They just say that the five Kage just lose.
Yeah.
Like, I am actually baffled at this video. Like, again,
the
only reason I think this video was made was to like try to tell, like, just try to convince his audience that Pain is just so like strong that he can take on the 5 Kage summit to try to convince his audience that like, yeah, Pain beating up losing to Kakuzu is just, you should just believe that it's just way too absurd. And it's like he would be able to solo the 5 Kage summon. It's just like, and even if like the arguments aren't that good, it's like I'll just give benefit like to the doubt here for Seth. Like he's probably just like, at very best, Seth is just making this video to try to convince normies that Pain is just much stronger than they think, even though he's definitely not. Like, his scaling doesn't put him that high.
Go watch some of Seth's old Kage videos and stuff that he did on them, and like see what he says about Pain in other videos. It's not even close. Like,
Yeah.
Kage, he usually scales the Kage much higher than he did in this video. He thinks these Kage are like Sasuke level or some shit. He thinks they're like Sage Naruto level. What are Sasuke and Sage Naruto gonna do to the Raikage, bro? They just get blitzed and murdered. Like, that's all that happens. We literally saw what happened to Sasuke when he fought the Raikage.
Yeah.
And he got murked. Alright? Naruto's not
he just said
different.
that he just said that Sasuke was just way weaker than Pain for no reason.
Yeah, it was...
Like, for no particular reason.
The reason he gave was the Zetsu stuff, but that was obviously dumb, so... Alright, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, like, I can't believe they didn't even bring up the fact that, like, well, it's just like what I brought up earlier was that Naruto didn't feel like he could take on Sasuke, who was, like, post-Danzo fight half blind. He didn't think he could take him on.
Raza probably
like,
beats Pain. Raza probably does beat Pain, bro. So, like, Gaara and Raza's ceiling's really good. Like, it's nasty. Oh, bro, that ceiling, they didn't even talk about Gaara's ceiling. They didn't talk about any of the Kage's abilities. They talked about, like, Anoki's particle style vaporizing the Chibaku Tensei, but then they just didn't talk about Anoki vaporizing them. Like, they just didn't mention that he could do that. The only, like, obviously none of Pain's physical abilities are going to hurt, like, the Raikage or an Anoki at all, or even Gaara, honestly, because he's got the sand, right? They're not going to hurt them at all. Okay, they might hurt Mei, but they're not going to hurt them because they're all super durable. They all have way better durability feats than anything Pain has ever shown outputting. Like, we're going to say that destroying the Leaf Village is more impressive than the multi-continental meteors that fucking Madara dropped on Onoki's head? Hell no. They're way worse. It's significantly worse. So, none of this stuff is going to affect them. The only things that they have is, like, Soul Steel, which they have to even get into melee range to begin with, but even if they do, they're just gonna get punched or, like, their spine ripped out of their anus by the Raikage, right? If they get in the melee range with Anoki, he headbutts them. I'm just kidding, but he could just, they wouldn't even get into range. They just get vaporized before that. The only path that's useful is the Preta path, unless they, like, conga line around the Preta path and, like, hide behind them, which they never do in character. They all get vaporized. Okay, and then also that just makes them sitting ducks for someone like the Raikage to run up and just taijutsu destroy the Preta path, right?
Yeah.
So,
also, we never said any. I never even said like, no, like Hatch, you're completely misrepresenting me. I never said that it was an anti-feat for Naruto thinking that he's not being able to compare to Sasuke. I'm getting on the fact that that Seth said that Sasuke is way weaker than Pain for no reason, and it's like we don't even think that like what's like say if you'd think that Pain is just he's just slightly stronger than like Sage Naruto, and then like, or like he's just better than Naruto, and then Naruto doesn't even think he could take on Sasuke. So at the very least, they're like around the same tier if you want to really give Pain the benefit of the doubt. But we don't even think that Pain is that above, say, like even Sage Naruto or even Base. So
yeah. How long is this?
Like, he literally gives no justification for why he thinks that. So that's why, like, I'm really shocked that he just didn't. That was, like, a completely baseless claim.
Yeah. Alright, this stream's going on 3 hours now, so I think we're probably...
Really? Okay.
Yeah, we're probably good. I think we've hit this video hard enough.
Okay.
Oh, man. If you guys want to give me money, you can. If not, that's fine, too. I don't care. But, thank you all for watching. We're probably going to end the video here. Probably make more reaction videos in the future. I just felt like this one was necessary just because Pain, it happened right after the Swag Kage thing. I don't know if I'll be reacting to Seth in specific in the future. Probably not. Maybe some video. Just depends on, like, if a Kakuzu versus Pain video gets made or something like that. You know what's another thing that's crazy? Seth used to say, he literally, not even used to, he said in his video where he ranks the Akatsuki, his, like, which was a few months ago. Let's look. His Akatsuki ranking was right here, 5 months ago. Not an old video at all. He said that he thought Kakuzu versus Pain is a good fight. And that's because of my debate with him, by the way. He thought it was a good fight. He says that in this video. Right? If Kakuzu is a good fight for Pain, which I think it is. I think Kakuzu whoops Pain. I don't even think it's a good fight, to be honest. I think Kakuzu solos Pain. What about all of these other Kage, right? That are, like, equal or greater than Kakuzu?
Yeah.
Is that no longer a good fight? Like,
I think even in the debate, he wasn't even trying to say that Pain was stronger. But he was just trying to say that, like, his whole premise to the debate was trying to get Pain to be at least relative and not strong and not, like, weaker than Kakuzu.
yeah.
So he wasn't even trying to argue that Pain was stronger.
Yeah. He wasn't even, like, in the video, he literally says that, like, he wasn't even trying. Yeah, you're actually right. He wasn't even trying to argue Pain was stronger. He was only trying to prove that Pain was relative to Kakuzu, and he couldn't. By the way, he couldn't.
You don't even have to watch the video. He literally puts that in the text of that debate. He literally says, like, I'm not even trying to prove that Pain is stronger. It's like I'm just trying to get across that Pain is just as strong. Is like either just as strong as Kakuzu and not inferior to him.
Yeah. I don't remember Seth saying that he usually memes Pain shitting on Kakuzu. No, I'll show it to you right now. He says it right here.
In contention with Sasori, if you consider it
Alright.
in order, Kisame and Kakuzu. I'm already getting
He's in a decent enough position to fight back against Pain. Ain't that crazy?
enough caliber to
like
even fight back
saying
against
Kakuzu
Pain,
is
which is
Pain's
displayed
caliber.
by Kakashi. However, this fear or warnings is not made in reference to Sasori, Deidara, or anybody else, only Kakuzu. Even with the knowledge that Naruto's allies, who Obito references, have faced these people before, they are not mentioned in Obito's warnings. This, alongside the volume statement, spells it out that Kakuzu is more than likely on a higher tier than the previous, and is considered quite impressive by the actual higher-ups in the Akatsuki. I'm definitely not saying this to please the Kakuzu fans, by the way. Swear. Anyway, for Kisame is awkward because his power fluctuates.
Yeah, so he literally argues that Kakashi or Kakuzu and Pain aren't really that much of a different tier. Like, so he literally argues like he could fight back against Pain, and then he like you said, he also thinks like A and Killer B would like destroy Kakuzu. So, kind of crazy that like
and say this is like their earlier like collab video was just like whatever they were able to think off the top of their head. Just imagine all the shit that me and Noodles were able to come up with off the top of our head during this stream.
Yeah.
Like,
we didn't even research this. We did this off the cuff, just of stuff that we already knew.
Yeah, like replace me, like, not, like, no hate, but, like, replace me and, Noodles, well, like, replace Six and Swag with me and Noodles. That video would have been, like, very different in how, well, obviously things would be different, but it would have been a much better video, honestly.
Yeah, solo sets be snapping away mixed scaling videos. Yeah, like I said, like, this video just is so much higher quality than that shit stain we watched a second ago.
Yeah.
So,
like,
people need to stop hyping up Pain. Pain is not fucking Raikage level. He is not Anoki level. He's not Gaara level. He loses to all of them. There's a power cliff in Naruto. You can say there isn't, but there is. So, yeah, I think we should probably end the stream there.
Alrighty.
I hope you guys all enjoyed. It was fun. We'll probably make more reaction videos like this in the future. Surfbone, go ahead and entertain them for a second.
Oh, entertain them? I thought you were gonna end the stream, so. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much everything, so.
You're doing a terrible job of entertaining them.
Okay.
Go watch my Kakuzu video. It's actually good.
Yeah, go watch that.
Go watch my Madara video. It's not as good edited, but it has good information in it. I don't like the editing or how I sound, but it has good information. Akatsuki video, same thing as the Madara video. Kakuzu video is good though. It's very good. Monsterverse video is good too. Go watch those videos.
And go watch that Noodles versus Six debate and just see how badly
I actually
Six
unlisted
just
it.
gets shit
wait, no,
on.
I didn't. Yeah, you can watch the Noodles versus Six debate too on Kakuzu versus Pain. So,
and just see how he's just like, fuck, bro. Like, how am I gonna get Pain higher, man?
Yeah. All right, guys.
And go watch my videos.
No,
too.
don't
That's
go watch
also good.
Surfbone's videos. They're all
Yeah,
garbage.
watch my
There's
videos.
nothing good in
They're
them.
good.
They're literally almost all terrible. And he basically, Surfbone asked me questions about it, and I just give him half-baked responses, and he uses those to make his videos.
No.
Surfbone's videos are the equivalent of my toilet thoughts. So,
No.
yeah. Goodbye, everyone. I'm ending the stream.